Well, hello there, everyone. It is Carol. How are you doing today? Those of you who don't know, I just made a big move down to Phoenix, Arizona, and I know this area is not for everybody. The heat's not for everybody, but I love it. Let's see, temperature check. So as you're joining, let us know where you're joining from. So let's see, right now in Phoenix, let's see what the temperature is. You see that? 111 degrees. Okay, I'm inside right now, but it's pretty warm out there. And as people are joining us right now, go ahead and just type in the comments. Let us know where you're joining from. We're going to be getting started here shortly as people join us here. So again, I am Carol Freeman. I am so excited about what we have going on for you today. I just moved to Phoenix and I'm loving the heat. What they've done here at my apartment complex is that they've closed the pool on the weekends and then 5 p.m. or later. And so I actually have to make a specific allowance every day during the day to go out and get a little sun and hang out by the pool, get in the pool. So that has to be, it's rough. I know I've got to plan that into my day, but otherwise I don't get any pool time. So we've got a Facebook user, 56 in Spokane. I'm going to guess that might be Marianne. I don't know. Could be somebody else in Spokane. So, oh, that's a little chilly. I'm glad I'm not back up there in Washington. So thank you all for joining us today. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so excited about what we're doing here today. Today, it's not about me. It's about some really, really, really amazing people that have had some success on keto, some great success stories. So for the next 3 hours, I'm going to give you story after story after story of keto success. So as you're joining us, just type in the comments, temperature check. What's the temperature where you're at and where are you joining us from? Let's get nice and cozy. Now, I do need your help as well. So as you're watching, I want you to remember that everyone that's here today to share their story, they're being really, really brave. Okay, they're being really brave. They're all nervous. I've assured them that you're all going to be really kind and gentle. None of them are perfect, okay? None of us are perfect. So please remember to be really supportive in the comments. And they're all in different places on their journey, and that's absolutely perfect. That's what I want to show you today, is that everyone has had success. They're all different success stories. They're all really, really inspiring stories, and they worked really, really hard. And they deserve some big accolades for the success that they've had. So as we go through these stories, please remember that they're all here. And so as you listen to each of these stories, I want you to think about, like, what do you have in common with this person? So we're all going to have similarities. We're all going to have differences. So think about what you have in common with the people as you hear these stories. Because I can assure you, you have a lot in common with all of these ladies you're going to hear stories from. So I have 8 different stories coming up for you today. We've got Carmen and Cassie and Penny, Marianne, Jenna and Kristen and Debbie and Karen. Amazing. Let's see, I'm getting a message here from one of our ladies. I think somebody's having, oh, all right, she's coming on. I thought I got a message from somebody that's supposed to be on, and I was like, oh no, is she lost? All right, hopefully she's figured it out here. So, all right. So again, just chime in. Let us know where you're joining from. So Leticia, 84 in San Diego. That sounds pretty comfortable and reasonable. I just chimed in. It was 111 here in Phoenix. Penny in Cathedral City, California. She's beaten me 114. Can you believe that? Amazing. And all right. And so we've got our first 2 people that are here ready to go. So as you're joining here, we've got a few people watching live. Thank you so much for being here. And again, just remember, all of these people are really nervous to share their stories. So be very kind and gentle, very supportive. Think about what you have in common with each of these people that they have. I'm the guide. I get to be the one that's going to asking the questions. So all of you, they're here to share your story. Rest assured, it's my job to make you feel really comfortable and guide you through. So you don't need to know anything except for what your life experience is. All right, so are you all ready? Who's ready for our first success story? I need some comments. You got to tell me in the comments you're ready. Who's ready for our first special guest today. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until we see it. We need to know. There's a little bit of a lag, so I know we'll wait for the first comment here. You can do it. We have success stories all afternoon, all evening for some of you on the East Coast too. So we've got people all the way from Pacific time zone. We've got people I'm in special Arizona time zone. We've got people in Central time zone. We've got people on the East Coast as well too. So all the country represented. Okay, well, except for Alaska and Hawaii. So, okay, we got a thumbs up and we got a ready. So here we go. Oh my gosh. All right. Up next. Oh my gosh. My twin from Canada, Carmen. Welcome, Carmen. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, everyone.
Carmen, we just share a little bit about yourself. Tell us who you are.
Okay. My name's Carmen. I live in Canada. We're the Eastern time zone. And I don't know if you can hear it. There's a train going by, so it's going to be loud for a bit. Sorry. I've been with Carole since last May, and I've lost 40 pounds. And that was my first goal. My second goal was another 10 pounds, and still working on those.
Excellent. Well, tell us more about who you are, Carmen.
Okay, I'm a mom.
Kids, mom. Okay, how many kids?
I'm a mom. I have 2 boys, 17 and 15. I married. I have to cook for them. Everybody eats a modified version of keto. I'm the 100% keto. They don't get French fries. They don't get bread. They don't get a lot of pastas anymore, and they're good with that. My husband's adapted to that as well. He's okay. What else?
Do you mind sharing with us how old you are?
51. I just turned 51. Oh my God.
Amazing. You look amazing, lady. And she showed me that it actually gets warm in Canada. I didn't know that. She's out in her backyard and has a lovely pool out there.
Oh, it's so hot. It's 90 Fahrenheit, but whatever the humidity factor is above that, I think we're way into the hundreds.
That's very warm. Yeah. So let's go back to before you found me. What was kind of the thing you were searching around on Google for? Like, what was the solution, the problem that you were looking for help with?
I knew I wanted to do keto. So for about a year, I was looking into all the information on Google, and I just couldn't figure out how to do it. There was just so much of it. I couldn't filter through everything. There was some conflicting information, dirty keto, clean keto, exogenous ketones, all of these other things. And it didn't make any sense to me. I didn't know which path to take. And I wanted to make sure that whatever I did was going to be sustainable. It had to be with real food, and it had to be with foods that I currently eat, because if I had to change that too much, then it wouldn't be sustainable. I wouldn't do it.
Perfect.
Years and years ago, I think I had mentioned before to you, Carole, though, but years ago I had heard about keto to help children with epilepsy and brain issues. And then it all kind of tied together when I was doing the research. I thought, oh my gosh, this is that same diet, and I could use it for health purposes. And that was my goal. I did have a health slight scare, nothing major. But I knew that other diseases were going to be on the horizon. I was turning 50 at the time. It was in May of 2019. I was going to turn 50 in July. And I didn't want to go down an unhealthy path as I aged. So I figure if I start now, I could possibly prevent future diseases.
Excellent. Do you remember back then, what were kind of the top worries and fears? What was ruminating through your mind at that time? What were your fears and worries that you had?
Them. So my mom had just passed away of cancer at the time. And although her cancer is not a hereditary cancer, it's kind of a fluke cancer. It's multiple myeloma, which is in the blood cancers with leukemia and lymphoma, I believe it is. So that was kind of one of my concerns. I ended up having what is it called, a mammogram. And on the mammogram, they found that my lymph nodes under my arms were enlarged. So they sent me to an oncologist. I had to go through the whole hematology thing. And I thought, oh my gosh, what's happening? It turned out that the lymph nodes, although they were enlarged, they still had a normal appearance. So I kind of missed that. Thank God I did, but that kind of put me on the path that I need to make sure that my lymphatic system gets cleared up, that my body is healthy, so that this is not going to come back to haunt me later.
It sounds really scary.
Yeah. So then there were other things too. So I had a numb leg for a few years. I would sit at my computer for hours, and I would always end up with a numb leg. So my right leg would be numb, and at one point I had swelling in my leg for a few days. I went and did a DVT a couple times, 2 different instances where the swelling just wouldn't go down. So they were looking for all kinds of diseases, again, that they just kind of name off, and they don't tell me, they don't tell you anything. They just sort of say, okay, this is what it could be, but they didn't find anything. And it never made sense why I always had this swelling and this numbness. So after keto, my swelling's gone, my numbness is gone. I don't know about my lymph nodes. I was supposed to have my follow-up during COVID, and then I obviously didn't do it because of what was happening. So I will follow up with that, but everything else, all my other ailments are gone. Pain in the hands, starting to get pain in the knees. I want to exercise. I went for a walk this morning. I have the energy to want to do those things.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
So then next, so I'm just kind of walking you through your journey of, how you found me and what that process was like. Do you remember back to our first meeting and what it was like kind of finding me?
I remember our meeting, yes. And finding you was, I just kept looking for a keto coach. I was looking like, where is there a keto coach? And believe it or not, I only found like one person here in Canada who was a male kind of buff bodybuilder. And I thought, that is not going to be the person that I'm going to be able to relate to. So then I watched some of your videos, and it all made sense. So, and everything I had already looked up, kind of the puzzle made sense. It all came together.
Oh, good. Excellent. And so then you decided to join the program. What was, what were the best parts of that? Like, what were your favorite parts of going through the core program?
Of the simplicity of it. So that was one of my, I'm always on the go. I don't have time to plan things out too well. And the fact that you had a shopping list, you had the proteins that we could choose from. I did look at the menu. I didn't necessarily follow it, but I would look at, okay, if it's tuna, if I have tuna, I'll eat tuna. If I don't have tuna, I'll eat another protein. I kind of just played with it that way. And it was easy enough to go to, and I didn't have to spend hours cooking. That was one of my main ones. The other part of it was that it came in increments. So every week there was more information as opposed to information overload.
All right. What different components of the program did you find most helpful?
I enjoyed watching the videos and I still go back to them. So I'll just kind of open the program and I'll just click on one, and I don't know what I'm going to listen to. I'll just kind of click and then just hear it over and over again. So the fact that I can still do that today helps, because it's almost like every time I go back and listen to it, I learn something new. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was what you were talking about yesterday in our meeting, was how you just it's like spinning the wheel of like, I'm going to listen to this for the day, and then pick up even more new information from that. That's really cool. And you've been with us for quite a while. And tell me a little bit about how your experience of being involved in our support team and the accountability pod, like how does that play into your long-term being able to stick with this for as long as you have?
I think that's super important, just because I don't have any keto friends. I don't have any keto family. I don't have any keto anybody that I can go to here. And I almost feel like I'm preaching to people when I talk about it, because it's like, okay, why don't you guys do this? And nobody kind of wants to. But the fact that I have a network of ladies that I can go back to, and they're all in the same boat. We all have gone through the program. We're able to kind of balance and check each other and encourage each other, and there's no judgment, I think that's just, that's perfect, because this way I'm still accountable, and I need that accountability.
Excellent. Excellent. And it sounds like, what made you decide to kind of join was that you felt like you really relate to me. And also the information I presented was like, oh, that fits with whatever else I've been reading out there. So,
right. And I didn't want to do those extra exogenous things and be purchasing these other things. It just didn't make any sense. I'm okay with supplements, because naturopathic doctors that I've been with in the past have also recommended, either magnesium or something, and those are part of my everyday that I need to do anyway.
Yeah. Now let's do an imaginary experiment here. Where do you think you would be right now had you not found me or started this program? Like, what would be the converse of where you'd be at right now?
I'd still be spinning my wheels. I have all the keto books from Costco. I have all the keto, anything that I could find, I would print it out, and it just information overload. I still wouldn't have been able to weed through it all. So I'd still probably be 40 pounds heavier, and I'd still be trying to figure out how am I going to get there? It just made it easy. The plan was there. The formula is there. These are your macros. This is what you need to take in, and log your food. Super important, because when I don't log my food, I complain I don't lose weight. There's a reason. Mm-hmm.
Well, and I can only imagine too that the worry and fear that you were experiencing beforehand just would have been even greater about the health scares that you were having.
Right. Yeah. And I just don't want to, whatever comes, I want it to be minimal. I know we can't avoid everything, but there has to be a way that I could minimize future illness.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, none of that bad stuff happened, so that's good. Let's dive in more to the results that you did experience. So, 40 pounds initially in the first couple of months, and what all got better for you? What are all the improvements that you've noticed over the last couple of years? Year and a half.
One of them for sure was brain fog. So I always give my story. It was one of the last straws kind of thing, where I left my purse in a shopping cart at Walmart, even though I looked at my purse, I unloaded my car, and I looked at the purse and said, I better not forget to get my purse. And I get home and I had no purse. So that was kind of like the last straw. I was like, what's wrong with my brain? Why is my brain not functioning? My body, I thought I was already low carb. Obviously I wasn't low carb enough. So all of those things that were starting to add up, that were starting to scare me, including the brain, like not functioning, not being able to focus properly. All of that changed. I feel like I have energy. I wake up at 4 a.m. sometimes, or 5 a.m. It's like, okay, I wish I could just jump out of bed and go do something, but I've got sleeping kids in the house.
You wake the bears, then you have more work to do, huh? Oh, that's great. Excellent. What else? Anything else that you noticed that have gotten better? And, what are the things that really make you stick with this? Like, what are those things that just
because it's easy. It's easy to do. I don't think I could go back to previous diets that were restricting certain things. Like, I hadn't eaten bacon, I think probably in close to 20 years, or I would steal like a little piece from my kid's plate because it's like, oh my God, it smells so good. So I can't go back to those other foods. I can survive without carbs. It's a no-brainer.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, anything else you want to share with our viewers before we wrap this up?
Follow Carole's program. It's awesome. You'll lose weight.
Oh, well, Carmen, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know you have like a ton of things going on, and I'm so glad that we were able to squeeze you in here with your crazy evening schedule you've got. So thank you so much for taking the time to share with everybody. So in the comments, everyone, let us know, like, what are the things that really resonate about Carmen's story? Like, what can you really identify? Like, what is it about her story that you're like, oh yeah, that's me too? So share us with that. And also just give her a round of applause right now.
Thank you, everyone.
Some hands up, some huggies, some hearts. Like let's give her some love in the comments here. So, Carmen, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate. All right, well, we'll let you go now. Sure. So, all right. So, how was that for everybody? Very inspiring, right? How many of you can identify like with the things that she was going through? How many of you have had a family health scare where something in your family really was a wake-up call for you, and then your own health surprises? Anything like that that's happened for you that you're like, that was a big wake-up call, or maybe you're going through that right now, or like now is the time I need to do something like that. Yeah, so let us know in the comments. And if you're still joining us, we're going to have people that are joining us all throughout this. Oh, wait, I forgot I can do this. Check this out, guys. Yay, nice job, Carmen. Yay. I forgot to put these comments up here. So all throughout this. Oh, wait, I forgot I can do this. I'm going to mute Carmen here. And Catherine is giving you a thumbs up, joining us from YouTube. Penny's got a high five for you. Excellent. Thank you so much. Oh, Catherine, that's super hilarious. So Catherine's like, wash hands. High five, wash hands now. This is a nice virtual high five for everybody here. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support, everyone in the comments. And just to refresh, if any of you are just joining us right now, just go ahead and just share where you're joining us from, what the temperature is, where you're at. I'm out here in always sunny Phoenix. I've just moved here. Last time I checked the temperature, it's 111. Penny beats me though, because it's 114 in Cathedral City, California. Penny's actually coming up in a little bit with her story. Later this hour, we get to hear Penny's story too. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, so, all right. I have another question for the viewers. Are you all ready for our next guest success story? Are you guys ready? Oh, I was clapping. Okay. Clap and then wash your own hands, right? Excellent. So you guys, I'm so excited to bring onto our stream here. Up next, my former neighbor, oops, I forgot I got to do this here. There we go. There we go. This is what I meant to do. All right. Technology is fun, isn't it, everybody? My former neighbor in Seattle, well, not like directly neighbor, but very close neighbor in Seattle where I used to live. Very excited. Help me welcome Cassie, everyone.
Hi, Carole.
I have this fun little thing. We can do this here.
There we go.
Yay. Nice. Welcome, Kathy. I'm so glad that you could be here and take time out of your busy schedule too. So welcome.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Oh my God, you're so great. I get on this video once where I'm like, I've only been here 2 weeks and I'm already like, I'm so tan already.
You are. I need to get a tan.
Oh, one of my hosts for my show on Sunday, she's like, now I want to move to Arizona. She lives in Colorado. Yeah. Oh, you're already getting panties. Happy to see you.
Oh, hi, Penny.
Well, Kathy, let's at least reset. Let's get into your story. So, can you just share with us, like, who are you and a little bit about you?
Yeah. So I'm Cassie, and I started with Carole March 9th, right as we were locking down for COVID. So it turned out to be excellent timing. As Carole knows, I always refer to it as I lost my COVID 30 by joining her reset program, which was the opposite from what happened for most people. Every friend I talk to talks about how they've gained weight, and there is this real sense of pride and accomplishment that it went the opposite direction for me. So I live in Seattle. I work in tech. So original in Seattle, and I have 2 kids, 9 and 7, that we are. We were homeschooling after schools closed down, and then working from home and keeping them occupied. And I'm married to my wonderful husband, John. And so we I guess kind of talking about how I came to find you, Carole. You know, I've dieted. I think I went to Weight Watchers when I was 8. So I've really been dieting my whole life. And, you know, as an adult, I probably lost and gained the same 60 to 70 to 80, 90 pounds 3 or 4 times, and just trying lots of different things. And, I really tried to find the perfect diet that would tell me the right thing to eat, or I'd try the right emotional support program, but I never found the perfect combination. And really, I think Carmen just mentioned it. I was looking for a keto coach or a keto nutritionist because I just felt like I needed that extra help, and that's how I found you, Carole. So.
All right. Well, let's so you're looking for a keto coach, keto nutritionist. At that time, you know, do you have a sense, or do you remember, like, what were the worries and thoughts and fears, like, that was rattling around in your head, like kind of that repeating record, broken record?
Yeah, I mean, at the time, I remember I had been to a nutritionist who I had spent a lot of time with, learning about intuitive eating and health at every size. And I just, while the concepts kind of resonated with me, I just felt like I wasn't at that point where I just was ready to say, then this is just the size I'm going to be, because I didn't feel healthy. I had pain in my knee joints. I felt like I couldn't run around with my kids like I wanted. And it was occupying too much headspace for me still. And so I had done a keto diet before. That was a program where you bought your food, and you know, it was very reliant on products that you bought. And so, but I did think keto worked well for me, but I just felt like there has to be somebody who can coach me in this. Like, there has to be someone who has nutritional training who can help me figure this out. And I just started, I think I did Keto Coach or Keto Nutritionist Seattle, and that's how
Okay.
I found you. And,
Okay.
um, and then, you know, as it turned out, just ideal that I could do it all online with you as COVID happened. So that couldn't have been better. So, but my biggest concern, I guess, at the time, and the reason I was looking, is I was trying keto on my own, and I was, you know, I had all these people that I was following on Instagram, and I just got confused. Like, do I take extra ketones? Do I track net carbs or total carbs? Do I go with artificial sweeteners? I mean, the list is just endless on the combinations. And so I would start and then I would stop, and I just couldn't ever stick with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember all these stories you got to share with me on our first call, and
Yeah.
so much of what you went through in your search for a healthy body resonated with what I was trained in. But when I came out of that schooling, it was like, but there's still something missing. And so it was really cool when we got to connect, because it was like
It was
two
like,
sides
yeah.
coming together. Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, she gets what I would learn, and I know what she's been through.
It was perfect. It really was.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know for you then, so, you know, you found me, you shared what you were searching on Google, like, you know, so, you know, in your own words, but it sounds like, you know, by the time we talked on the phone, on the video, it was like a no brainer, where it was like, no, this is the person I
Yeah.
need.
Yeah. It was just, I felt like, because while there were keto coaches out there, they weren't necessarily, you know, registered nutritionists. They weren't, you know, and I felt like I had been through and I was getting to the point where I just didn't know. I didn't know who I could put my trust in, and finding someone that understood the background of all of those concepts, was a nutritionist, had lost weight yourself, like, that's a big one, actually.
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time with nutritionists and personal trainers that just haven't been in my shoes. And one of the things that I really felt like I got out of your program was just like coming to the realization that, like, my body is different than someone who hasn't carried extra weight. Like your metabolism is different. And so it is different. You don't like someone who's never had a weight problem telling you, just, eat less, move more it's just not that simple. So
Yeah, I love that realization too, because it's kind of like, maybe you're only 5'1", you aren't, but like a person who's 5'1" and they've got like a 6'7" basketball coach that's telling them, just jump higher, just jump higher. It's like, my body isn't designed for that.
yeah.
I can
Yeah.
play basketball for fun, but I'm never going to be a star. So I think that's important to realize that, it doesn't mean that, I encourage people to look at it like you figuring out how your body works and how to eat for that is really, really powerful. It's not a deprivation. It's actually empowering to figure that out.
Yeah. I learned so much, like just when we'd have weekly calls and just talking about like, oh, I kind of wanted this, I kind of went, and you'd ask questions like, it wasn't about willpower, it was about, well, let's look at what you ate. Oh, wait, and so the the language in my head, or the commentary in my head, started to change from, oh, I shouldn't have that, or, oh, no, why do you want that, to like, why do I crave that? Oh, wait, maybe I need to, and there were so many things that changed, and it became much more of a very factual, like, objective view on things.
Letting go of the shame then.
Oh yeah, big
Yeah.
time.
Ooh, that sounds like it feels good then.
Yeah, I was telling a friend this weekend, like, I feel like, well, so much headspace has been freed up. I feel so much lighter, and I'm not thinking about it so much. Like, there's just this hope and feeling of, this is how I'll eat the rest of my life, and it doesn't feel bad. It feels really great.
Oh,
I think one of the things I remember us talking about one week was, dealing with social situations and special occasions. Like, I could make a special occasion out of anything. And but I remember talking about like how you start to identify, just like a vegetarian would, like if a vegetarian goes to a dinner, someone's saying, I'm vegetarian, and it just being this thing. And I think having this social network of keto friends who are finding success, but also mental stability and just like calmness in it gives you something to identify and align with. And so I just, this weekend, I was, at an event where there was lots of food, and I was able to just, oh, I'm keto, I just eat this, and it felt very natural and normal to me.
oh, nice. Big shift. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do the experiment I did with Carmen, where, like, let's imagine that you never found me. Where would you be now had you not found me or this program? I
I
know it's not fun to think
honestly,
about.
I honestly think, I mean, the timing was just so weird because it was during COVID. And I honestly think I definitely would have gained more weight. There's no question. I mean, like, I love to bake, and it would have been Bake City here. And so I think there would have been that, but I think worse would have been the mental anguish that would have gone with it. Like, I was already feeling really down about it. And I think to then compound that with what we were going through and are going through as a country with everything, I think I would have been in a much darker place than I am now. Um, Being able to face everything that's going on and just have resilience has been just priceless. In hindsight, I would have never known that was what was coming.
Yeah. So let's get to the exciting part of, like, the results you did experience. So you finished with you started the program about 4 months ago. So we've had little bit of a, so it's and the core program, and now we're you get to be one of the members of our membership.
Yeah.
So over that 2-month initial course, what
So the
did you see?
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess the biggest thing for me, I mean, other than the weight loss, obviously the weight loss is great. Like, and it's solid now, right? I think I notice it when I put clothes on and just, like they're not getting tight again. They're just not, I mean, I have changed sizes and I still have a lot to lose. Is one of the reasons I know you mentioned yesterday, but I upgraded to the VIP membership because I'm really just want to the extra accountability has just helped so much in the little moments every day that you have to make choices and think about things. But I think aside from the obvious, which is the weight loss, I think the lack of cravings has been so great because I remember Carmen on one of my first calls being like, it's just easy. And it really is. Really the key, the concepts of intuitive eating, it is possible when your metabolism is in check, when your blood sugars are in check, and so when you know the right things to eat, that your body isn't craving stuff all the time. And so I think cravings for me has been great because I'm in control now. I don't feel like I have to constantly, try so hard. It's not hard. Um, and I think the other thing is that I just feel lighter and more able. I still feel like I have a lot of weight to lose, but man, I feel like I can get out and move around with my kids a lot more. My husband even says like I carry myself differently.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just been great. Also, I noticed my fingernails are longer.
Oh,
I have
okay. So that's a
naturally
sign of health.
stronger
That's
fingernails.
great. That's great. And I know I remember you reflecting, over your course of your program, like just how empowering it was to be doing this during COVID, where
Yeah.
normally, and most people are going through this, where they've like using food to cope, you're stuck at home and overeating, and you actually felt where you probably thought you were going to just feel deprived, that you actually felt super empowered, that you
Mhm.
were taking charge of your health. And
Yeah. Yeah, and it meant that because there was still a lot going on and is still a lot going on of things where I feel like I need to find coping mechanisms. And
Mhm.
so it, you look to other things, I read a book, I sit and chat with my husband, I, play a game, and there's so many things. And
Mhm.
food was just always that easy one. And then the
Mhm.
next easy one was a little glass of wine, right? And those things, like the bigger picture is, I know those things just are, they just, we go downhill that way as opposed to,
Mhm.
where I want to be. So
Yeah. Wow, wow, wow. That's fantastic. Let's see. Um, um, okay. So I'm like that question, but I also want to ask,
yeah.
so you reflected on, um, why you chose the VIP version of the membership,
Mhm.
because you wanted that, closer work with me and more accountability. But in general, like, share with us, why do you see having ongoing support on this journey? Like, why do you see that as being important?
I look at this, and this isn't to say I understand what it's like, but I liken it to, people who struggle with alcohol or drug addiction. Um, it is an ongoing thing for me, and I think these habits and mindsets that I have built over 20, 30. I mean, I'm 43. I must have 42. I'm 43. Over my whole life, I've built these habits, and they aren't going away. And I've tried this over and over and over, and I know that what the end result is going to be. And I have found Like I felt like every time I joined a call, it was just positive and people were, like I remember asking Penny one time, I think Penny's coming on next, like, well, what do you eat in a day? And I was just sort of fascinated to listen to people who have sustained it long term, because I feel like just that constant everyday mindfulness it's key for me. It's key, especially when I'm surrounded by people who aren't necessarily doing that or eating that, and so that everyday support is just, because even a year, 2 years down the road, I don't know what lies ahead, and there's just things that come up, and you can have a really great day or a really bad day, and both of those can drive you to want to fall back on your goals. And so for me, the support is key. It really is.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. So I'm so excited to have you. I love everybody that's joined, but when people make that choice, it really feels like a compliment to me, but it's so rewarding for me, because this is my goal. This is what I feel like I'm put on this planet to do, is help all of you, not only lose the weight with keto, but to keep it off. And everything I've shared the last few days about, like, looking at my most successful clients that have been able to stick with this for years and to lose the weight, and also what the research shows is that we really need this as a long-term ongoing support. So so I don't know if you saw this or not, but we've got Facebook users saying you're doing amazing, you're going to meet your next goal. So so positive. I'm sure that's somebody that's been in the program, or a new member. I can't see their name right now, but whoever that is, tell us your name. And Penny here. I hope Penny's coming on, because you're up next, Penny. Hopefully you're ready.
Thanks, Penny.
Really great. Sherry's just joining us too. Sherry actually is one of our members of the new Keto Lifestyle crew too. So welcome back, Sherry. Excited to get to see you again. And so she's coming back to the party. So Penny, you're up next. Come on down. It's Carmen. So Carmen's the one that's saying that you're doing great, Cassie, and you're going to be meeting your goals. So that's great.
Thanks, Carmen.
Yay. All right. So as we transition, so Cassie, anything else that you'd like to share with our viewers or anyone watches this later?
I just want to say, like, I know I've said this to you before, Carol, but I feel like you're it's way more than a weight loss program with you, because you are so trained on things. I remember asking you one time about gallbladders, and the answer I got back was way more than I would have expected. Like, you really are a wealth of knowledge. And so I feel like if anyone's considering it, there is something to be said to working with someone who is truly trained in this, and then has also experienced it. So, I feel like you are really a special scenario. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. The path that I've been on up to this point, it all makes sense to me, because so much of it felt like, what am I doing? And like, it all is so important. So, it's been taking me, I'm 49, it's taken me 49 years on this planet it's a lot of learning I've done to bring it all to you guys. So I'm excited. So Cassie, thank you so much for sharing. Let's give you the applause banner again, everyone. Thank you so much. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks, Carol. You too.
All right. Penny's coming up next. I sure hope she's going to join me here, because she's next up on the, and I know she's been watching. So hopefully she's joining us here. So we're going to fill the air here. So, coming live. How about that? How have you guys all identify with Cassie's story? Pretty inspiring, right? So, like I promised, we've had Carmen and Cassie. And like I told you, everyone's at a different place on their journey. Everyone's got a different story, but we all have a lot in common here. We also have differences. And so that's why it was so important for me to bring you all of these different stories at one time, because you're going to hear things where you're like, oh my gosh. So Penny, you actually have to join you're not here on the live stream. So you have to not be in the Facebook group, but there's a link. Let me send Penny the link actually to join us here. So she needs to know that. Penny, I'll send you the link in the chat. So it's not on Facebook. It's actually a different place. Let me send Penny a message here really quickly. All right, everyone. And also what we're going to do. So I have 3 hours of guests scheduled for you guys. And so at the top of every hour, we're just going to take a quick little potty break. But the cool thing is that doesn't mean the information is going to be stopping. I've got a video queued up. One of our other success stories that wasn't able to be here. I've got her video queued up so you can listen to her story as well for more inspiration. And yeah, so we're waiting. We're just hanging out, waiting. Penny's going to be here any moment now, and we get to hear her story. I'm really, really excited. So, yeah. So just again to reset. Thank you for being here. If you're just joining us now, please share where you're watching from, where you're joining us from. I'm here for 3 hours straight. It's like a live telethon with Jerry Lewis. Does anybody remember watching those? Only this is all happy, positive stories. And I'm here to share with you all different stories of keto success to inspire you and just motivate you and get you all excited too. So we've got more people coming up too. So we've got Penny here. Any moment she's going to be popping in to join us. And just a moment. And all right, so where are y'all joining from? We've got let's see. We've got another kudos for Carmen. I love hearing you talk about keto. Wonderful, wonderful. So I'm going to guess that's maybe Cassie. I don't know. So the way that Facebook works with this platform that I'm streaming from, if you're in a group, Facebook doesn't let me see your name unless you've given it permission to. So it's just a privacy thing on there. If you're on YouTube, it shows me what your name is there, but you can allow that. So if you're on Facebook in the group, there's like a little thing above that says click on here and to allow your name to be shown, but also that's optional too. So you don't need to do it. Yeah. So that's Cassie there. So, all right, Penny, I just sent you in Messenger chat. I sent you the link to join us here join me here in the live stream. So, and all right. So Sherry is in Oregon. How's your weather down there? What's the temperature? Let's see, I'm going to do another current temperature check here. And, still 111. No, this hasn't gotten any warmer. That's probably about the top of what we're going to see here. So, really excited, you guys. We're going to have lots and lots more success stories coming up. So, next hour we have Mary Ann and Jenna. And then in the final hour, we've got Kristen, Debbie, and Karen. Just lots and lots of different examples of success for you here. And, let me just remind you too that everyone that's here, they're being very vulnerable. It's hard to talk about weight loss. It's hard to talk about your weight loss journey. All the ladies that I'm working with they've been battling this their whole lives, and it can be really shameful and embarrassing to work so hard at something and feel like you failed at it. But it turns out it's not your fault. You didn't have all the information you needed. You didn't have the long-term support, and that's part of what I've been working on the last couple of months, and what we're sharing all this information is leading up to this new membership that we have. And that's designed to help people stay on track for the long haul for keto. So it turns out that research shows that about 95% of people that go on a diet gain the weight back and more. So how many of you can identify with that? Give me a Y or a yes in the comments if that's been your experience, right? So I know it has. And so one of my missions with the work that I do is that I don't want to just help people quickly lose weight and gain it back. Like, that's the last thing I want. I want to help people lose the weight quickly and keep it off forever and not have to feel frustrated and ashamed anymore. So, okay, I think Penny's going to be here any second. She's seen my message now. I can see that. So yeah, so the people that are here, they're vulnerably sharing their stories with you. This isn't easy for them. But they know that their experience is important to share because it's going to inspire somebody else. And we can't change this world, this planet, we can't change the health of it unless we share our stories. So Catherine's got a Y, so she's been on that diet roller coaster. Y is for yo-yo. I didn't tell everybody that. Sherry's weather is kind of crappy, not really summer, like cloudy and 67. I know, I've heard that the Northwest is having a really, really slow start to their summer. I think it was kind of like that way too. So, so Catherine Hendricks, coming from beautiful Washington State, looking forward to our talk in the morning. Yes, I get to chat with Catherine. It's so fun that you've been able to be a part of all these live trainings and get to hear all these success stories. So Catherine actually was referred to us by one of the people that's going to be here in the final hour, Kristen. So we get to hear her success story here coming up. So, all right. Well, Penny, I know Penny's on her way. She's trying to get here. I know the temperature is 114. Maybe it's even hotter there. Maybe it's melted or internet. But don't worry, we've got lots and lots more stories in line for you too. So we're gonna wait. I'm gonna just couple more minutes. I'm confident that Penny's gonna make it. But also if we're going to take a break at the top of the hour here, just like in a telethon, not for commercials though. I'm actually have another success story from one of our other peer support coaches, Cindy, to share with you. So allows me to go and get another. So if you're wondering what I'm drinking here, I found this at Target. It's a coconut pineapple sparkling water. I love all of these that they have out right now because there's just so many different flavors of them. And there's never a shortage of flavor combinations too. So Target had some different ones as soon as I moved here. So share with me, what's your beverage of choice as you're watching us here? So lots and lots of liquids drinking down here in Arizona. Very, very warm. So no, Penny, you're not here now. So click on the link that I sent you in the chat box. You have to click on that link and then it's going to open up a new tab for you. I will see you pop into this live stream window when you do. So close out your Facebook. That maybe will help you. But just click on the link that's in that chat box in Messenger I sent you. So once you click the link, it will open up a new window for you and you'll join the live stream here. All right. And just click. All you got to do is click that link. It's going to open up a new tab for you and you're going to be into the live stream window, Penny. So it's not in Facebook. Actually, the live stream is not, even though you can see it in Facebook, you are not joining via Facebook. It's a totally different platform. So it might help again if you close the Facebook window and then just click on that link that's in Messenger. That's what's going to allow you to join me there. So, all right. And all right, so I think that we're gonna take a little station break. I'm gonna share with you. I think I can do it. I'm gonna share with you one of our ladies that couldn't be here. She's actually on vacation right now. So Cindy is one of our peer mentors, and I'm just gonna start playing her interview that I've done with her a while ago about her experience with this. So that's what I'm going to do while I run to take a quick little potty break and get another flavored sparkling water. And I encourage you to hang around because we've got lots and lots more stories. We're going to figure out the tech stuff and get Penny up here for you. More stories next hour and the next hour after that. So let me do this screen share. And we're going to do this. So again, I'm going to play this video on the breaks. We're not going to get to watch the whole thing on the break. We'll just be a few minutes while I run to the potty and get another beverage while we play this. So let's see. We're going to do this and that. And let's start this for you. Let me know if you can hear it in the comments there.
Well,
hello, and thank you for joining us today. Right now, I am joined by Cindy. I'm so excited to have her share her story and experience and transformation with you all. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, will you just will you just share with us who are you?
Okay, great. I am a 56-year-old mother of 3. I have 2 new grandsons. They're both under the age of 2, and that's been an exciting part of the last couple of years. Those 2 little boys. I live in Texas. I am a pastor and a counselor, a writer, blogger, speaker, and have struggled most of I would say the last 7 to 10 years with weight issues. And part of that journey included a breast cancer diagnosis when I was 49 that ended up with me on medication after surgery and treatment and everything that blocked my hormones. So got to go into menopause really fast and artificially. And so that just seemed like that was the last straw in terms of metabolism and things like that. And so I'm happy to say now I'm off medication and back in a normal population in terms of cancer issues. And so just go once a year for screenings and that kind of thing. But I'm doing well in that regard.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Here you go, lady. Yeah. Well, so would you mind sharing a little bit more about, weight struggles? Like what kind of things did you try? What was your experience like before keto?
Okay. I probably, like a lot of people, I tried everything, from Weight Watchers to Jenny Craig to, doing it on my own. I've been really diligent about exercise, and so that was never the hard part of it. And on every plan, it seems like I would lose some, and then it would just get to a really hard point, really stuck point. And it's almost like my body would just rebel. And I would either kind of get frustrated with the whole process and then go back to normal, what I thought was normal eating, and then gain even more fat. And so kind of the yo-yo thing was happening with me. And at the same time, as I mentioned, a lot of other things were changing with my body and the job and stress. And so it just seemed like I just couldn't figure it out, how to help myself. And so that was pretty frustrating. And then about a year and a half ago, I had one of my children, and my middle son is a Texas high school football coach. So he's obviously really into nutrition and health and fitness and optimizing athletes' performance and all that. And so he started talking about keto, and mentioned it in terms of the long-term health benefits and anti-cancer, anti-inflammation. We have my mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's 2 years ago, and so that's kind of in our family's mind, of course, in terms of genetics or prevention for the rest of us. And so that's when I first started to kind of looking into keto. And really, then I started trying it. And, but there's just so much information out there. I can read and I can digest a lot. Like, you've got the whole internet. And so I did it the way I thought I should. I did the best I could. And it worked for a little bit. I lost some weight. And then, I don't know, just something happened and it kind of didn't. And then I gained. And then I'm like, I with my best, attention to this, there's something, I'm not doing. And that's when I decided I need a helper. I need a coach. I need some outside, somebody to tell me, more specifically how to eat and how this works, which led me to you.
Yeah, which I'm so happy to have helped you on this journey. So what was it like then, compared to you trying it on your own when you started getting into the materials and how I teach you, how I taught you to do keto now?
Right. Well, really quickly, you had the 10 rules, and they were not, I could already see like, okay, I haven't been doing these 10 things, many of them. And so, and already things, there are things on your rules, on those rules that were, seemed, if you looked elsewhere, would be keto friendly. Like nuts or, having, I guess some sugar or, anyway. And so really quickly I could see like, oh, yeah, she's saying no nuts, no sweeteners, even diet. Every afternoon I was having my handful of almonds and my diet Dr. Pepper, thinking I was being.
All right, I'm back, everybody. Emptied the bladder, refilled my glass. I did. I put my sparkling flavored water into a glass now. So, hey, everybody, we're just resetting here. Good news, Penny's backstage. She made it. So excited to get to share her story with you. So if you're just joining us, we've been live for an hour already, and we're here just sharing story after story after story of keto success. And, just for those of you, or a reminder for those of you that have already been here, these people are being really, really vulnerable and sharing their stories. And so show them lots of love and support in the comments. Every one of us is different. Everyone is here because they've got a different story. They're at a different place in their journey. And so I wanted to show you a whole variety of stories of success to inspire you and to show you that there's going to be things that you're going to identify. I'm making room for my kitty. He's got to sit down here. Let's see if I can show you. I was probably going to, can you see his tail? Yeah, there he is. This is Spot. I've trained him. He used to like to lay on my keyboard on my desk, but I've trained him if he sits behind me, then I'll pet him, which is, a little awkward to talk and pet my cat while he's behind me, but at least keeps him off of my desk. So, so we're here for we're 2 more hours. We've got that many more stories to share with you, to inspire you on your keto journey. So are you guys ready for your next one? You ready for Penny? Who's ready? Tell me. I'm going to wait. This is what we got to do. Got to get a yes in the comments. Got to get it ready. Or I'll accept a heart too. So if you want to share one of those, let's see who can be the first one. Oh, good. Marianne told me the volume was good on that video I was just playing. That's so great. Thank you so much, Marianne. All right, who's the first one? Oh, here we go. Sherry's the winner. We got a yes from Sherry. Sherry's one of our newest members in the in our Keto Lifestyle Crew membership. Yay, Penny! Welcome, Penny, everyone.
I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna give her the clapping hand. Yay!
I'm really sorry, everyone. I guess I'm more technically challenged.
No worries. No worries.
It just
and there is a big delay in your audio too. So just
okay.
So just know that when I can see your lips moving, and then it's about 2 more seconds for the audio. So I'll make sure that I ask a question and then I'll pause quite a while for you to answer. So, well, here we go. Penny, can you share with us who are you? Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, well, my name is Penny, as you said, and I am 66 years old. Had a weight issue since I was 18 years old, a little bit before then, but then life happened, and I gained 350 pounds. My story is, pretty immense, but I took it off, and then I started gaining it back, and that scared the hell out of me. Honestly, when you weigh that much and you change your lifestyle and it starts coming back and you can't figure out what to do about it, it's very scary. So that's when I found you.
Oh, and can you tell us a little bit about, personal, your lifestyle? I know you have a really cool, unique lifestyle.
Well, I do. I am a full-time RVer. So we live in our RV, and right now we're not traveling around, partly because of COVID, but partly because we just decided we might might be getting ready to stop. We've been doing for about 4 or 5 years now. And we're almost to the point where we think, well, maybe we want to settle down. But then COVID happened, stopped us in our tracks. And so any traveling we're doing now is via car.
Okay.
But of course, we're not doing much traveling.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're kind of in a holding pattern in full-time RVing, but we still live in our RV.
Okay. What are you? I'm just curious. Where are you kind of eyeballing your longer term residence then?
We really like it out here near Palm Springs.
Okay.
We're in Cathedral City, which is very near Palm Springs, and we love the heat, and we love no rain in the winter, or very little rain in the winter. So yeah, we really like it. We were both my husband and I, born and raised in Southern California, so it's really home for us anyway.
Okay. Well, good. And I know that you normally this time of year you drive up farther north in Washington, and so you're surviving your summer just fine. So you're ready.
Yes. Well, I do miss my grandchildren.
Okay.
That's why we spend our summers up there as granddaughters. But they are now young teenagers, and they don't need us nearly as much as I want them to need us.
And then you just have to wait for the next wave where they actually want to just come and visit you then.
Right. We hope.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Yeah. All right. And so thank you for sharing. And so let's go back then to, just right before you found me, you'd shared, what was the problem that you were looking to solve? You'd shared that, you started to gain the weight back and that panic kind of set in for you.
So I had maintained my weight pretty well, and then I just started gaining, and same thing, Weight Watchers. I had lost the weight in a variety of ways, but the one that worked the best for me was South Beach, which is another low carb program. And I just, in my head, I didn't want to try South Beach. I didn't want to do low carb. Decided I was going to do it on Weight Watchers. Though I'd tried Weight Watchers 100 times before, in my head, I thought, oh, this time it's going to work. Not. So eventually I gained almost 50 pounds of it back. And I can't tell you how frightening that is. I love my active lifestyle now, but I was really starting to feel it. And it was frightening. So I did try the South Beach again, and it wasn't working like it did before. And intuitively, I knew it was a low carb thing. I knew that was the best program for me. And someone told me about keto. It was actually my daughter who told me, to look into keto. And my first research of keto it scared the hell out of me. I'm 66 years old, so I'm from a school of the only kind of lifestyle that's healthy is low fat and, low protein. And so it really was, and no salt, of course. It was a big awakening for me to open my mind to the fallacies of the FDA, et cetera, et cetera. And the more I read, the more confused I got. The more confused I got, the more I read. And I think everyone so far has said, it's very confusing. You can find an expert, a keto expert, and they're just not reliable. And one will contradict the other. Mm-hmm. So I, like the other ladies that you've mentioned or have interviewed before, knew that there had to be a way to make it approachable and understandable and acceptable for someone my age. So I researched and found you, and it was an immediate good fit for me.
Well, excellent. It's been 2.5 years. How long has it been?
I started in February of 18. So
okay.
2.5 years.
Just right over 2 years then. Excellent. So back then, like kind of the feelings and things that were running through your mind, I think you covered that pretty well. Like just the fear, kind of a panic, like got to get a handle on this. I don't want to end up back where I was.
Right.
Yeah. So what have been in all this time? And so you did the original Fast Track program. And Did you move into the alumni, or did you immediately go into the peer support role at that point?
No,
I don't
I did the fast track. I lost about 25 pounds, and then I didn't do the alumni.
Okay.
And so I think it was. I'm gonna guess it was 6 or 7 months, and
Okay.
the whole time in that 6 or 7 months was a struggle. I mean, it was
Mm.
not a struggle at all before I was on the fast track. I mean, when I was on the fast track, I lost all my cravings. I was very like Cassie said, it's amazing. And then I wasn't in a group, and I kept saying, this is why the support is so important. The accountability and the support is so very important. So when I had the opportunity to become a peer support coach, I jumped at it, and it's been a wonderful experience for me.
Oh, that's great. And for those of you that are watching that don't know what that is, so we, when people come into the Fast Track program, we partner them with a peer mentor, peer support coach. So Penny's one of those, Carmen is one of those, Marianne, who's coming up next, is Cindy, the video that I showed during the break, she is as well. The partnership is multidimensional, and it helps both sides, right? So as Penny's explained, having that role, being a mentor to somebody else, helps keep you on track, but it also helps the new members have somebody else that's there that's cheering them on as well. So Penny's been in that role for more than a year and a half. I don't have everybody's dates. I'm not good with remembering those things, but more than a year.
I think it's right at 2 years now.
Okay. Yeah. So then, so during that whole time, tell us more about, like, what are your favorite parts? What have you found that have been like just the most helpful in keeping you on track this whole time?
For me, it all goes back to accountability and support.
Mm-hmm.
But tagging on that is the knowledge that you have and that we gain from that. Things I never, learning all about insulin and sugar and all of those things is, really important. And there's so many just little fingers that we don't think of, our hormones, and you just have a wealth of information. And it's always nice to tag that with, okay, that's why I don't eat those things any longer. That and having, I think both the ladies before mentioned that you're kind of alone in this world. I mean, in the keto world, or many of us are kind of alone. We choose this lifestyle. It works for us. We love it. But we don't have a whole community out there in the world that hold our hand and support us, except for here. And it's nice to be in a community. It's important to be in a community. And even if it's just the small pod of our peer coaches, I'm looking forward to the new membership, because the bigger the community gets, the better it is for all of us.
Yeah. And speaking of pods, let's talk about that. So you inspired me, actually. So can you just share a little bit about, like, what you do in the community that you live in that was like the inspiration for me to create these new pods for our new membership?
Well, the community that I'm in right now is an RV park. It's an RV resort. And in the winter, there's literally thousands of people here. But in the summer, there's only a small handful in comparison, maybe 100 people that stay year round. And there's many elderly, quite elderly. I'm young compared to some of them, so that tells you how old they are. And when you're in this kind of heat, the doors are closed and the windows are closed and the air conditioner is on. So it was developed to maybe be able to touch base with those elderly people that don't get out in the heat. So it was mostly a phone chain is how it started. Just as simple, are you okay? And that's all it was. It wasn't, don't sit down and have a half-hour conversation. It was just checking on to make sure everyone is okay. And I think that's how I mentioned that I think I took a call in one of our meetings once, and you asked me, you glommed right onto that. Hey, tell me more about that.
Yeah, because in the way that my mind is working, I'm always changing and modifying whatever I'm bringing to my clients that's going to get them even better results. And I know it's a combination of information, empowerment, and application, and the accountability. And I'm always looking for what else can we do that makes people get better, even better results. And so when you said that, I was in the process of kind of researching things that we would use in the new membership. And I was really looking for what's something else that is a good accountability tool. And I had this idea, you'd said that, and I'm like, it's really powerful, right? Because you call the next person and you check on them, and the next person is reliant on that person to follow through. And so it ends up being really, really powerful that way. But, phone calling is a little old fashioned, right? So I knew that wasn't going to be something that would work really well. I searched high and far and wide and deep on the internet because I thought there had to be some kind of a technique or tool that was out there. And I'll tell you guys that are considering the membership that I actually researched. I did a trial of this accountability software, and I got to tell you, it was so complicated and it was so in depth. And I was like, there's no way that anybody's going to have the time to spend that this is required. So it was really if all you do is coaching and accountability, that software is probably great. But I was adding it to what we've got on. I was I didn't even have the time to do it every day. There's no way that anybody else was. So I tell you, I've researched and I've done far and wide. And so us peer coaches and me, we meet once a week and just check in with each other. We talk about how to support our clients. We do training and coaching. We share, tips and answer questions and everything like that. And we've grown really, really close with each other in this time. And so I came up with the idea of let's try this accountability pod in our group and see how we like it as a beta test for the future membership. And so, Penny, you want to share a little bit about how that's gone? We've been doing it for a couple of months now, right? Has it been a little bit 6 weeks or so? Or?
Yeah, something like that. It's you know how time goes by, especially when you're in COVID.
Yeah.
But it's been great. It's it's a very quick, simple. Some of the coaches are trying a couple of different fasting processes or whatever. So if they're doing an egg fast, they just put in the chat egg fast. It's just a check-in with each other. It's really great. It's empowering to know that I'm going to pretty much first thing in the morning tell you all that I'm going to stay on keto today. And it's empowering to be able to say that as an accountability tool and then follow through with it. Carmen in Canada starts it every morning, and we just kind of hold each other up, and it's really a great tool. We've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's simple, quick. It's just, you can put even just one word in. It takes 3 seconds a day. And in testing it, then I brought it to our team and said, okay, so now we need to roll this out to other people. Do you guys want to disband this? Now that I'm going to have you each be in charge of a new pod. And unanimously, everyone's like, no, I love our group. I want to do it and the next one as well. So that's how it's a simple little thing, and it's just been magical. I'm just really in awe of how powerful it's been and how much everybody loves this little thing. So just a couple of more questions, Penny, and then we're going to bring up Marianne next. She's eagerly waiting in the background for those of you that are waiting to hear Marianne's story. So let's do that mental experiment of had you not found me, had you not found this, where would you be now?
It almost makes me want to cry. I mean, it's so frightening to think. Just a quick story. When my dog, so it would have been 30 years ago, we went to Yellowstone, and I was 500 plus pounds. And I could barely get out of the car. I couldn't go see any of the sights. We just came back from a trip with Yellowstone with the granddaughters, and I was seeing everything for the first time. And there wasn't an event that went by or a site that we went by that I thought, I am living a different life. And if I had continued on that weight gain, I would have been back there. I know that I would have been back there. So it's too frightening to even go there mentally for me.
Mm. Well, let's flip the coin then. Let's talk about the results that you have had in the last a little over 2 years then that you've been with us.
Well, so as I think when the fast track program, I lost about 20 in I think was it a 6-week program then, Kara? Or was
It's
it
always
9?
been 9. Yeah,
Okay.
it
So
was 9.
whatever the program was, I lost about 23 pounds, I think. And then after that, I lost and gained about 10 or 15 pounds. And then when I started the group or with the coaches, I really maintained it better. The support really made a big difference there. But I still have, right now, I still have a good 10, 12 pounds I want to lose. And at that time, I still had about 30 I wanted to lose. So you started us with a couple of different options. And I tried that out. It was the Get Unstuck program.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried that out and I lost about 18 on that. And I've easily maintained that 18, which I think Carmen may have spoken to how easy it is just to maintain. In other programs, once you stop, you start gaining. And this, you don't stop. It's a lifestyle. You don't stop.
Yeah. Wonderful. And beyond the weight loss, do you notice, as far as following this keto lifestyle, do you notice things are different for you in your body than doing like the low fat, low calorie stuff before?
Well, number one, of course, is cravings. Whenever I did, and I would get out of bed, and then, especially on Weight Watchers, where you have to. I'm a chronometer, hound, and so I don't know why it's different, but I would get out of bed on any other program thinking about food. What can I have? What can I have? What can I have? What can I have? Oh, I wish I had that. The whole thing. Food is not an issue any longer. I know what I eat. I know what I don't eat. I look at everybody else having ice cream and cake and all the other things, and it never even enters my mind. Well, maybe I'll just have a little bite. I just don't even think about it. And that's the number one thing, the fact that there's no cravings and food isn't the master of me. I'm the master of it.
Ooh, Carmen just said you're an inspiration to all of us, Penny. It's so true.
I tell you, it's hard because when you're in this place, it's hard to be an inspiration because all you feel is shame. And I have to work on the shame for a lot because, I did that to myself for many years.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Like I've said at the top of every hour here that it's hard for all of you to share your stories, and every one of you. And I had people that actually I was like, please come on. And they were like, no, I just don't feel like I'm in a perfect place. And like everyone is in a different place, and you've all been different part of your journey, and everyone feels bad about like where they've come from and even where they're at. And part of the mission too is just helping all of you really love yourselves and know how inspiring you really are. And
I will tell you, it's much more emotional than I thought. I thought, oh yeah, I'll just go answer some questions. But yeah, it's a much more emotional thing than I thought it would be.
Thank you so much for being so vulnerable with us and sharing. So it means it's real. It's real. It's authentic.
It is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Anything else that you'd like to share with our viewers and watchers and onlookers and inspiration seekers?
Yeah, I just can't impress enough how important the support and accountability is. To me, it's beyond all of it. You have to have that support and accountability for me.
Yeah. I think it's true for 95% of people. So
Yeah.
Well,
And
Penny,
thank
again,
you.
thank you. You're welcome. And thank you so much for being here. Everyone, let's give her a round of applause. Yay, Penny. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Are an inspiration. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, we're going to put Penny backstage. How was that, everybody? Wasn't that great? Did you know that was coming? Isn't that a great story? So More stories coming up for you. Up next, we have Marianne, and then after that, we've got Jenna. So right now, let's just get on with it. We've got Marianne here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Marianne. All right.
Carol, I have to tell you that when Penny posted the picture of herself and her family in Yellowstone, it's like it made me so happy and excited for her. That's one of the cool things about this group is we're invested in each other's success.
Yeah, so true. Well, welcome, Marianne, and will you tell us, who are you? Who's Marianne?
I am a 62-year-old retired person who, like so many of us, had lived in the yo-yo land of dieting and creeping back or creeping way back or getting disgusted with yourself and trying something new. And was October of 2018. I came home from a vacation, and my friend that I was traveling with sent me a picture of the two of us, and it was like, oh my God, how did that happen again? It's like you just kind of ignore it, avoid looking at yourself in the mirror, but that picture was a slap up the side of the head. And so I had reached out to some friends who were doing keto, and so it's like, well, one of my yo-yo roles was on Atkins, and I was successful on that. Keto sounded similar, and so I thought, well, what the heck, I'll try it. And again, like a lot of people, you get so many conflicting, here's how you do it. Is it net carbs? Is it total carbs? Is it, it's like, I'm so confused. And around Christmas time that year, I was like, okay, I obviously am not doing this by myself well, so let's see if I can find someone. And so went out in query land and found you and started the first part of January of 19. And like a lot of people said, it's like so simple and straightforward. It just, you didn't have to use a lot of energy thinking about it and worrying about it. And having the macros or the mixture of things eating every day, it's like you're actually satiated. So even if you were at the point where you're still fighting some cravings, being satiated makes it easy to turn away from those.
Yeah.
But I think the real turning point for me was I joined the emotional eating group. And that was kind of a head trip in that it became really clear to me that I am a carb addict, just as a heroin addict is addicted to heroin. And I just have to flat out say no to the sugary things that trigger stuff, that I can't make the keto version of those, recipes out there that everybody on the internet seems to think is fabulous. And I just can't do it. It sends me down a bad place. So the emotional eating really gave me insight to how my brain was working, and it turned it from living to eat to just eating to live. It was like I didn't really care about food anymore. It was like, okay, I need some, I'm hungry, sustenance, but it wasn't a big deal, which was a huge shift in my brain.
It was an area to explore you didn't even know was a big area for you.
Didn't know it was an option to live like that. I've had friends that get candy and they can take a week to eat one little thing of candy. That was just like beyond my comprehension. It's like you buy candy, you eat the whole thing. and and now it's like I don't really care.
Mhm. So let's go down that road I've done with everybody, where it's like, imagining the scenario where you didn't find me, you didn't find the support of this group. Where would you be right now?
But I think especially without that emotional support part, I would still be in yo-yo land. Who knows what I could have figured out with keto on my own, but I'm pretty positive it wouldn't have been a lifestyle change. It would have been a temporary thing, as other eating plans have been. But now I get excited over weird things. Like the other day, I saw on Amazon this spoon that's a scale that shows grams. So like you could scoop out spices or whatever and have the exact grams for a cayenne or whatever it is. It's like, now I get excited over that stuff now.
Oh, that's interesting.
Who
You're
would
gonna
have
have to
thought?
share that with us. Yeah.
Well, I have to get it delivered first so I could show you in person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do a demo for us. Yeah. Nice. You've been in our accountability pod too. Can you share a little bit about what that's been like? And
Well, it's been fun because I've been with the peer coaches, and then just in the last week or two started with some of our other people, and it's fun to watch as the newbies are getting started, getting excited, and it's like it refreshes my excitement about it. And like, yeah. And on our peer one, I'd totally forgotten about egg fasting options, and Karen's been so good, is successful with that. It's like, wow, I have to try that one of these days. So it's just keeps things fresh in your mind, and the accountability part. Like, okay, yesterday was challenging for me, and so today I'm gonna make a commitment to y'all and myself.
nice. So it brings you commitment, fresh and at your fingertips instead of the normal, like, well, I'll wait till Monday type of thing.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, if you were ever in a real crunch, like I am really having troubles. Like, well, I shared with y'all that I had quit smoking, and there was times where I just wanted a bloody lifesaver. And so you guys kind of helped me, like, okay, here's some alternatives. Let's, work through this. Don't let it get the best of you. So it was like really great support, and really helpful in getting over the hump. So it's now 2 months, 2 days.
That quit smoking?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations! Yay! So not only support for keto, but just optimizing your healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
Good for you. All right. So what have been some of the other parts of the, either the original program? You talked a lot about the emotional one, about how much that was helpful. Like, what are some other parts of, the program and the support that we have that you found to be just like really helpful and really important on your journey here?
Well, just the reference materials that you've put together. It's like I have a notebook, and probably a month and a half ago or so, it's like I didn't even grab the notebook. I just went in there and printed out. I knew exactly what I wanted. Like, I'm starting with week 1 and just get really clean, really on target. And so I just go in and print it out that you've given us, the continuing access to it. So Now we have to figure out where the notebook's hiding.
Ah, nice. Excellent. Well, so what are all the results that you've experienced in both original fast track as you got through the emotional eating program, and then just being on with as a peer support? What's your success been?
Well, so a year after I started, I returned from vacation again in October of 2019, and I was down somewhere between 60 and 65. I was too afraid to stand on the scale when I started, so we're not exactly positive where we started. And the difference in almost exactly a year was so striking that I sent you an email with when the 2 different October photos, and your reply back to me was like, "Who is this?" So that was pretty exciting, actually, that you couldn't even recognize me. So, and I've been hiking through all sorts of national parks and just having a great old time. So, like, the 60-year-old knees work much better, not hauling all that extra weight around. I used to have acid reflux horribly, like more time evenings than not. And I can't remember the last time I had acid reflux. It was fun to go closet shopping.
Oh yeah.
All the, skinny clothes that, I'll get back in that one day. Well, I actually did, and I actually tossed out all the big clothes, which in previous successful dieting adventures, I never tossed the big ones because I didn't have confidence that I wouldn't need them in the future. So that was a big step for me.
Yeah. Wow. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of your journey. Very inspiring. And that was so fun to get that message from you, because it doesn't always happen that way. A lot of times people go away for a year and then it's a different story. So I had to mentally, oh wait, I remember her as a bigger lady when she was working with me. So you did fantastic. And I love having you back as one of our peer mentors now, and always filled with great little shortcuts and tips about how to prepare food. And one of the ones that still sticks in my mind so much is marinating chicken breasts and leftover pickled juice. So good, so easy. And just yesterday, I think it was Penny that was talking about that her favorite one tip of yours is marinating chicken breasts in Dijon and lemon juice. And she says it's her husband's favorite thing. So full of ideas and support. It's really great to have you with us.
And we still need to do our keto camping video.
Yes. I ended up taking a different route and didn't go by you on my trip down here. But I know I see all these cute little camp trailers now, and I'm like, I might have to join that club here soon. And Marianne, anything else that you want to share with everyone before we wrap up? And
I just think one of the things that I heard somewhere along the line that just made so much sense, especially telling with your program, is the only processed food you should be eating is something that you've processed yourself with your knife. And it's so true. The only thing I use is my knife. And it's really, it's just that simple.
That's a clear-cut definition of what's processed and what's not. Yeah. Excellent. Good tips. All right. Well, those of you we have a bunch of people watching that are members already of the membership too. So you get to hang out more with Marianne and get all of her tips. Really cool in the new forum that we're going to have in the community membership area. We're going to have places where we can put, Marianne's cooking tips and tools that people find like that. I can't wait to see that measuring spoon she's got. So we'll be able to have those things
Really
where
cool.
it's easy to share and find those things. So exciting. So Marianne, thank you so much for being here. Let's give you the let's pull up the clappy hands for you now. Everyone give Marianne a round of applause. Thank you for sharing your inspirational story and being here and supporting everyone else as you continue on your journey. So
Well, thank you for coming up with this whole thing that we can all succeed with.
yeah. Oh, you're welcome. It's my mission is why I'm on this planet. So enjoy the rest of your, I mean, you're outside without a shirt or without sleeves on, so it must be not too freezing there, but
It's not too bad. Going camping in the morning, so
yeah,
go
have
load
fun.
the camper.
All right. Thank you, Marianne. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Wasn't that great? Did you guys enjoy that too? So give me some comments. What stood out to you about Marianne's journey? I promised you everybody's got a different story, all different things going on here for people, different parts of their journey, where they're at. Super excited to bring up our next guest. Are you guys okay? This is what I got to do. We got to get a thumbs up. We got to get a heart. We got to get a ready in the comments so we can bring our next guest in. I know there's a few second lag. So let's see who's going to be the first person to give me the go ahead to bring up our next guest. Let's see. And just to reset too, like if you're just joining us, freshly joining us, just share with us where you're joining us from. Let us all know where you are. All right. Who's going to be the first one? Who's going to be the cue? And Carmen saying, great job, Marianne. I agree. Yay. All right. Who's next? Who's ready? Who's ready? Can you guess who's next? Do you know? I've said the names in order, so somebody's got to know who's next. All right. She's patiently waiting. I can't wait. Her decor in her house looks so cute. I can't wait for you guys to see this. All right. Here we go. Everyone, welcome Jenna. Oh my gosh, I love your chandelier back there. Yay, welcome Jenna. Let's give you the clapping hands too. Yay. Jenna, share with us who are you? Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna I love your decor. Are you in a new place or have I just never seen you in your whole background?
I think you've just never seen me here
Okay.
on this floor. I'm usually either in my bed or down in the basement. So
okay. Thanks for everybody. You guys get the special treatment. I've never got to see this part of her house. Thank you for being here. So okay, Sherry was the first one to win. She's got the ready here. So Sherry is the winner. All right, Jenna, welcome. Please share with us. Who are you, Jenna?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess we've been working together for a year now. I live in Philadelphia and have, really probably like a lot of the people you've been talking to, struggled for a long time with finding a healthy way to eat sustainably that, I like and all that kind of good stuff. And so that is how I kind of found my way to you is an interesting story. But I just really enjoy, I enjoy eating. That's part of the problem. I enjoy working outside and exercising in my job and kind of the whole thing. That's just who I am.
All right. Would you mind sharing how old you are? I know that's a big part of what helps people.
No. That absolutely. So I turned 40 this last year. So
okay.
When I started working with you, I was 39. I just turned 40.
Well, happy birthday. And what do you do for career work-wise?
Yep. I spent my whole career in finance. So 20 years. I work with businesses and do commercial lending. So pretty sedentary type of job.
Okay.
Sit at a desk and occasionally get to run out the door to go see a client and then back in front of a computer. All
right. Excellent. So, when you were seeking out help before you found me, what were kind of the things that you were searching for on Google? What was the top of your mind problem you were looking to solve?
Well, it's so funny because there was the easier question would always be like, what wasn't I looking for? I think, you
Okay.
know,
Okay.
anything
Yeah.
from like a good, healthy, permanent solution to like a quick solution. And like I said, I tried a lot of things for a lot of years before I found the idea of eating low carb or eating keto specifically. But in the months leading up to me actually finding you, I was trying to do keto on my own, and had found read this article and that article and all these different things, and for a couple of months just wasn't connecting. And I could really tell, like, clearly I was doing something wrong. So I got, my good friend Google, I think I literally searched for like a keto nutritionist kind of situation, and found you, because I got to the point that I realized I needed, I was looking for something that was going to be healthy and sustainable and understandable, like that could make it easy for me to understand how to do this.
Okay. And what do you remember at that time? Like, what kind of were like inside your mind? Like, what were the thoughts and feelings and fears that you had?
Yeah. So obviously the biggest fear would be that it wouldn't be successful, because, probably, I would love to say I was exaggerating, but I'm 40. So for 25 years, I feel like I've been dieting, and things work and then they don't work. And then, so that was probably the single biggest fear I had is there anything out there that's going to be a healthy lifestyle for me to really be able to embrace? Because that's what, at this point, that's what I was looking for, was truly a lifestyle. I wanted to lose some weight, but I was more about finding a way to at least not gain anything and be healthy. And luckily, that's exactly, what I found.
Excellent. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So many people can really, I'm sure that people can identify the fact that, like, well, maybe I've had so many failures, like maybe I just won't gain weight. Like, that's how low of expectations a lot of people have.
Yeah.
A little. Yeah. So keto nutritionist. And so what was it then that kind of, made you decide then to join in and start working with me?
Yeah, so it was, I checked out your website, obviously, but I think one of the very first things that we did was you and I got on a call, right, to talk about what my goals were and a little bit about your program. And I really felt like, from what I could see both online, but in talking with you, I really felt like you had obviously a good handle on keto, excellent background in nutrition. I knew that I was going to be healthy no matter what I was doing. And it was just, you just made it feel very easy and approachable. And all of those things that, just made me feel like I could give it a go and be successful.
Nice. Excellent. So then in going through, the fast track and the more we've done some one-on work, so those of you watching, like, I've got a bunch of different tools in my belt and different programs and things like that. And that's part of what each person gets, a customized approach. So one of the universal things you're hearing is that everyone has gone through the fast track program, and then everybody's got their own little tweaks on what else that I've provided them for support. So Jen is somebody that I've worked a little more closely with one-on-one. So what are some of the things that, as part of the fast track and the other work that we've done together? Like, what have you found that's been the most helpful and your favorite parts?
Yeah, so in the fast track program, I'll start there. It was really great because it was both the way the program was broken down, it was both very useful in the kind of here's step A to B to C to D, but then it also had deeper dive information you could go into, right? And then the weekly group coaching calls, any and all questions that I might have would get answered. So for me, being somebody who both, especially right at the beginning, like, I wanted to have the basic steps laid out so I could follow and learn, I did that. And then as I saw success and felt more confident, as I wanted to kind of nerd out a little bit and learn a little bit more, all of that information was in your program too. And you could supplement that, as we went along. And so that was fantastic through the fast track. I really loved all of that. And then in the one-on-one, coaching that we've done, the kind of express coaching, for me, one of the things that has really been key together a year is the long-term accountability, right? So I definitely am somebody who I need an accountability partner. I haven't, I am definitely more accountable to myself now, especially that I've seen success and I feel confident in the program. But that external accountability partner is fantastic, and that's a lot of what we do in our coaching. Is that accountability, and then fine tuning any questions that come up too. Obviously, you're always there as a resource for that. But that's my favorite part about the coaching.
Nice. And you all that are in the membership, this is a little a teaser for you. Part of the membership is, you might have seen this on the page where I list out everything that's included, what I'm calling the 4-in-1 laser coaching that's monthly. This is what Jen has been doing, actually. So, and so this is going to be something that's included in the new membership. And so once a month, we'll have a hour-long call where people that are pre-selected, so you can apply to get a spot on this. It's included in your membership. So 4 people every month will get one of these 15-minute accountability progress laser coaching sessions. And it's a model that I've learned and tweaked and applied to keto and been teaching our coaches. And it's really, really powerful for quick little check-in that helps people make progress and then commit to that change in order to be able to move forward to get to the next call. So that's included in your membership, everyone, or those of you that haven't joined yet. Why not? Okay. Anyways, so that's what Jen has been part of too, and that has been really that she just said has been helpful for her too. So, all right, now I got the bad question. Where would you be now had you not found me?
Yeah, it's that's a little scary to think about. I mean, so I've lost 35 pounds and have, successfully cut that off over the last year. So I would definitely be at least 35 pounds heavier and still in that real, slightly depressed, definitely a lot more insular, definitely not feeling my best. I was getting to the point, I was at my heaviest when I found you that I'd ever been. And I was, getting a little bit older, and I could start to feel the weight in my joints. So just not feeling great about myself and physically starting to have some impact to my health from the extra weight I was carrying.
Okay.
So not in a great place.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you did find me. And so, 35 pounds down, kept it off for a year. What else? What's the list of the surprise improvements that you've experienced over this last year?
Yeah, that's been one of the things that I think has been the neatest, because you talk about this in the fast track program, and I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, we'll see. But the quickest things that came up were not only were some of like the puffiness in my hands went away, right? That kind of happened real quickly. Overall congestion definitely improved. But you talk about this a lot, like a mental clarity, a sense of calm. It was huge. And this was also happening. All of this was happening in a time that I was having a lot of stress in my life, personally and professionally. And that extra benefit of having a little extra mental clarity, a little extra sense of peace, sleeping a little better, all of that was because of the way I changed my nutrition. And that was huge for me. Really, really huge.
Wow, great. Yeah, I know that I'm glad you shared that, because there's a lot of things in the beginning where I'm like, yeah, you're going to get this. And like most people say, they're like, you know what? I thought you were full of it. Like, I didn't believe all that stuff you said was going to happen, and it did. So that's fun that you get to share that, because, nobody's going to believe me until they get to experience it themselves. So excellent. Well, Jenna, and congratulations on being one of our founding members in the new membership too, so the Keto Lifestyle Crew. So excited to have you for long term here on out, and getting the support that you need, and being there to support everyone else too, because that's a big part of what's so exciting about this is we're building a community of people that are all have the same goal. And I just can't wait to see a year from now where we get to do this again and share the stories of how everyone's been connected and supporting each other and found cool little tools like a measuring spoon that measures grams of herbs and things like that too. So what else would you like to share as we wrap this up with our viewers? And
Yeah, your programs, and I'm really excited about the community that has been building, have been so key to, really a huge change in my life. And I'm excited because, as you've been pointing out, it's about the long term. That's why I've continued to do the coaching in the other programs, because I have to stay connected in, because it can be so easy to revert back. But the amazing thing about keto, especially the way you train us to do it, is it's truly a lifelong healthy eating pattern. So I've never had concern about that. And now all this extra support to kind of keep the momentum going, to reinforce the habits, to have some group accountability and some sense of community and tribe is really, really exciting. So I think it's fantastic.
yay! Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm just like, this whole concept, you guys, of this like Livecast and doing all these interviews. This is something that I didn't even think about this or know about this as something that we could do. I mean, I've certainly done interviews, like standalone interviews with successful clients is like a one thing. But this is part of the course that I've been going through, learning how to create really effective membership and build this community. And I love the fact that the course I'm going through is all about like quality and connection and caring for your people and helping them make progress, right? And this Livecast was something that was a concept that was introduced on there. And I was like, how fun would it be to just spend hours talking to everybody about their success too? And here we are almost 2 hours in, and I'm just more excited than I was when this started, because just building, and we have one more hour coming up of more success stories, you guys. And so how fun. So Jenna, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy life, your busy schedule. And I want to tour and some decorating tips from you, because I love your style. So thank you, Jenna, for being here. Let me give you the clappies here. And thanks for sharing your inspiring story.
My
Yay,
pleasure. Have a great
everyone,
day.
let's give it up. Let's hear it for Jenna. All right. Hey, guess what, everyone? We've made it to another break. We're going to take another quick little break at the top of the hour here, real short. I can see we already have Karen backstage. I can't wait to share her story with you all. So we have more success stories coming up, so don't go anywhere. I'm going to put back on, I'm going to continue playing, and let's see, we got some more comments here. Penny says, nice job, Jenna. I agree. Yay. Thank you so much for being here. So we're going to take another pause here. No commercials. We're actually going to continue to play Cindy's interview. So if you were here at the last hour break, we started out Cindy's interview. She's one of our peer mentors. And so I wanted to share, she couldn't be here today because she's out having a wonderful vacation. And so I wanted to continue to share her story with you. So again, I'm going to take a little potty break, refill my glass of flavored water. And so I'm going to continue on with with Cindy's story, which we're about 6 minutes in. So we'll play that from where it left off, and we'll be right back with some more stories. So don't you go anywhere. And wait, where's here it is. Screen share, Chrome tab, this one. All right. I'll be right back, everyone. We'll see you in a minute.
All right, doing okay. And what I can see now is I was just sort of hurting myself on and on. And I never had really calculated my macros or tracked. And so the things that were clearly outlined, just, these are your rules, that was really helpful to me. I was like, okay, I might not love all these rules, but I can do rules. And so I had to have a little time in there. It was maybe like 2 to 3 weeks where I felt like it was almost like grief. Like I just had to say, okay, you're not going to have a glass of wine now, and, no, mashed potatoes are not in the future. Like just be sad a little while about what I was giving up. and then just go ahead and do it. And then for me, luckily along the way, all the materials were teaching me the science behind it. And so then I started to understand where in my previous life I would have a couple of slices of pizza, that was just a rough day. Now I understand, no, that's throwing everything off for a long time, and it's hard to get back. So a cheat changed for me from a cheat just to myself to I understood it as a whole upsetting of the cart, and I didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
And so some of those things really just set quickly and well with me.
That's so great. I was going to ask about, did you go into it seeing those 10 rules and have a lot of skepticism about like, well, why is she making these rules? They seem arbitrary, but like you explained, once you started to get the behind the scenes, like why, I promised you, every one of the rules has at least 3 reasons why they're there to propel your success. And that's exactly what you're sharing, is that you got what was promised.
Right. Oh, totally. 100%. In a way that I could really apply to my life, and so that's when it didn't take long for me to say, okay, these rules are here for a reason. Like the no recipe one was a little bit hard, and then it made sense, especially because along the way I've been trying some things, and it was just like you said, you can make this whole keto-friendly recipe and get to eat a half a cup. By the time you really calculate it, and so all of that actually ended up being free. Like, okay, I don't have to find a recipe. I don't have to spend a lot of time on meals. I'm going to eat this food, and that's it. And then, of course, once I was in ketosis, which was pretty quickly, the magic of that started kicking in with the lack of appetite and feeling good and energy increase. And so, and I think I told you along the way, I was like, I don't know why everybody's not talking about this, because it is so amazing that you can naturally not be fueled, not be driven by hunger.
Yeah.
And kind of understanding I was just eating the wrong things. It was carbs and sweeteners and all that was driving that I need more feeling. So I just, once that happened, I didn't want to be out of ketosis.
Yeah. So it sounds like it was empowering rather than feeling deprivation.
Right. At some point it switched. At the beginning it was a little like, oh no, but at some point it really did switch to become empowering, and I saw the results. Like I said, when your appetite goes away and you're feeling peaceful and happy and energetic, you can tell something's working.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned results. What kind of results did you experience during the time that we worked together?
I lost to date 23 pounds, probably during the program, like about right at 20.
Okay.
It's amazing. And again, we have to say that was not something I was able to do on my own. And even with those other programs, I might have lost some, but to lose 20 for me in a few weeks was amazing. And along with that, I was losing inches, and then again, not feeling deprived and not feeling hungry.
Wonderful. What other things did you experience? Like, other symptom relief in your body, mental clarity, energy, what else?
Well, and because we had talked at the beginning, I immediately started changing around some supplements. And, one of the things you told me early on was, oh my goodness, you've been doing everything right, trying to do everything right that everyone else had taught me or that I'd read somewhere. And, for example, I was drinking tons of water, believing I should. And you said, why? And I said, because I thought that's what everything about weight loss and health said. And I really think I was drinking way too much water. So I was able to kind of back off on that. That felt freeing. And then some of the supplements I was taking were not the right ones. Switched some of that around. I was on an antacid over the counter and have them for years. And nobody had ever told me until you that, that was blocking mineral absorption in my stomach, probably. I thought I needed it, and turns out with higher fat, you kind of don't. I got off of that.
All right, everybody, I'm back. It's Carol. How was that? Second part of Cindy's story there. So very inspiring. She's had a lot of improvements, and I wish you could be here, but you get to watch her story anyway. So anyways, welcome back. If you're just joining us, welcome to our live cast of success story after success story after success story. We've had, let's see, who have we had so far? We've had Carmen, Cassie, Penny, Marianne, and Jenna. Guess what? We've got more coming up. So we're all here with success stories to inspire you and share. So if you're just joining us, or if you haven't yet chimed in, let us know where you're watching from. I am here in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. Every time I check the weather right now, it's about 111 degrees. So let me know what's the temperature where you're at. I did just move down here on purpose. I know this weather's not for everybody. I absolutely love it. Yeah, it's not for everyone. It's pretty darn hot here now. So thank you all for being here and taking time out. We've got another hour of success stories to share with you. And, just if you've heard this already, but also I'm resetting here for those of you that are just joining us. Everyone that's going to be on this whole live cast of success stories, they're all in different places on their journey. And they're all here to share different parts of their story with you because it's all successful. So just being mindful that they're all really nervous to be here and share. And all of us that have been on this weight loss journey, we have things we're ashamed of, and we still feel a lot of shame. Penny, those of you that heard Penny's story, she says she still feels shame about what she's been through and even where she's currently at. So nothing but love for everybody sharing their stories today. They've all been very, very brave in being here to be willing to share their stories with you. So I'm just thanking all of them that have already been here and those that we have coming up still. So I'm so grateful that they have been, and I'm just getting more and more excited that each story we're going on our third hour here of sharing these success stories. And I can't believe how excited I am. This is just so fun. All right. And so up next we have Kristen, but here's what I've been doing, everyone. You got to give me a yes, a ready, a heart, a thumbs up, something. Somebody in the comments has got to let me know so we can bring up our next guest, because I want to know you're here. I want to know you're watching. This is where Netflix goes, hey Sherry, you still watching? Hey Catherine, you still watching? Hey Penny, you still watching? This is what this live cast is doing for you right now, is like, are you still watching? So somebody's got to tell me they're still watching. We're still ready for our next guest. And there's a couple second or minute lag, so I can't quite get, I got to do like they do in the telethons and fill the air here. I've got my kitty sitting behind me. You can't see him. Oh, here's his tail. Got him trained that if he sits behind me, then I'll pet him, which keeps him off of my desk. And it's a little bit annoyed. Oh, look, Penny's the winner. I'm here and I'm excited. Guess what that means? That means we get to get the clappy hands out. And bring up our next guest. Everybody, welcome Kristen.
I've never done anything
Thank
like
you
this
so much
before.
for being here, Kristen. Well, thank you so much for being so brave and stepping outside your comfort zone to inspire other people. So welcome.
Of course. Thank you. Happy to be here. And you look so tan. I'm envious.
Yay. I know every time I come up in the video, just a few, it's usually a few days in between my next video thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting tan fast here. So they've got our pool. Our pool is closed on the weekends and then 5 p.m. and later. Which means that I have to prioritize, like every day I have to, if I want to get out there, I've got to make some time to get out there. And so the sun's pretty potent here. I've been, it's a good job at getting me tan pretty quick in just a couple of weeks. So, it's been fun. Yeah. So even for me, I'm like, oh, yeah, tan, that's tan. Well, Kristen, welcome. And just,
Thank you.
just to start out with, will you just share with us who you are? And I can obviously see your kiddos behind you on your bulletin board there.
Oh, yeah. That's my son. He's 15 and a half. Well, he's almost 16 in a month. So trying to drive everybody, not just crazy, but drive a car. But so I have two daughters as well. One's 28 and the other's 26. And
Okay.
I found out I'm going to be a grandma in November.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
yay, yeah. And my wonderful husband is out driving with my son right now, so I won't have any interruptions. I've just been on this journey since March, and it has been amazing. I started in January. I had known about the keto thing for years and always tried thinking I was doing it, dabbling in it and everything. And then when I started full on in January, the scale wasn't moving for me, and I was getting pretty frustrated because I had actually really stuck with my plan that I thought was the plan. And then I just finally decided I need a coach. And so I just kind of Googled someone in the area, keto coach, and Carole Freeman came up. And so I just kind of emailed her, and then we met, and it just sounded like a great fit because she made a point of saying, is this, I mean, I had been on so many diets, and I just didn't want to fail anymore. I was to the point where I was like, I'm not going to even try anymore because I know yo-yo dieting is even worse for me than if I were to just stay where I was. So anyway, I decided to get a coach, and that's where I found Carole. Thank you very much, Carole. You've been amazing. And just started the program, and she made me realize that it has to be a lifestyle change, that, like a diabetic has to realize that, they have this certain something where they can't go back. It's life-threatening. And I think this whole thing made me realize how life-threatening it is for me to go yo-yo back and forth. And once I commit to this, I need to make it a lifestyle. And then watching the coaching sessions and hearing other success stories, that totally helped me realize, it's got to be a mindset. And so I think that's as much a part of it as it is just the, eating the right foods is how you're looking at it. I finished at the fast track. I got down 26, and then I had printed a bunch of stuff off, and I saw the egg fast, and I thought, oh, I'm going to try the egg fast. And I lost another 3 more. So I've just been thrilled that I've been able, just through the summer so far, to stay exactly that. I mean, I fluctuate 1 pound, go up, go down, but I can stay right there just by, following the recipe, Carole's recipe. It really, I just can't say enough about how much it actually works. My dad has health problems, arthritis, and he's had a stroke, and he's had stent put in his heart. And so I just don't want to go there. I want to do everything I can right now to help prevent that in the future. And I feel like this is the best thing that I can be doing right now to help that, make that, to avoid that if I can, or slow the process down at least.
Yeah. Oh, those are powerful motivators then. Kristen, it's really cool to hear, almost 30 pounds since you started, but also the huge mindset shift that's happened for you too. And it's really cool to hear how that happened, right? Because I could talk till I'm blue in my face about like, no, you got to do this for the long term, but hearing how inspirational it was, and how just hearing everybody else's story of how they've got to where they are, like helped you realize like, okay, so I do need to accept the fact that this is long term, and right. Your energy right now is amazing too. You're just like on fire, and I remember back to when you started, you were a little more timid, and you're coming out. You're blossoming here. So,
well, thank you. It's just been, I mean, I thank you. Definitely. It's been amazing. And I thank you for sharing with me and with everybody else, the the secret or the truth behind the whole thing. So I appreciate that.
Oh, I'm glad you're here to share. Wonderful. So, okay. So you already talked about and I've got my cheat. So I got my cheat list of questions I've been asking everybody. So I'm like, okay, she already covered that. Yeah. So you talked about so what you were kind of searching for, realized you needed a coach, and then can you share a little bit more about what was going on in your mind, your thoughts, your fears? Because you talked about how your dad's health was really on your mind too.
Right.
So
well, I've known over the years that I just have a carb addiction, actually. And so just going through the things that you had talked about, steering clear of those things. Like when I ended, the program did say I could add back some nuts, or I could add back a couple of sweeteners. And I just going through the program, it made me realize that those were always the problem in the first place. So if I just keep them out, maybe that's going to help me. And that's so far what's happened, and it's been amazing. One other thing was, I've been pretty active and athletic my whole life, and I just had lost my energy. I didn't want to, I just couldn't, keep consistent with any of that. And just doing this program, you made me realize that it's okay if I don't have, work out on my bike every single day and walk and, and do everything else. And so I've given myself permission now to not do that. And that's taken a huge load off, even though I still like to do it. I've switched over to golf now. So since the weather's been nice, I go out and walk, the whole course and stuff. So that's been amazing. With the energy that I have with that. And I do have to add this part in. At first I was really exhausted. I'd have to sit down after a little while. And then I realized I needed to have my salt water before I went golfing. And then I brought a little, like you had said in another thing, that bring a little baggie of salt with me in case I need it throughout, another boost or something. And so that truly made a difference. It was hard to get my mind wrapped around that at first, the whole drinking salt water, because I've always thought of getting rid of the salt. But yep. So I have my salt water here, my little saltwater cocktail.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's been huge here. I've made friends with somebody that lives here in my building, and we went for a walk one morning when it was, it was like 9 a.m. and 90 degrees. And I was like, I didn't bring enough salt with me. And he's like, well, I think I've had too much salt. And then I'm like, okay. He's not a keto person.
Have you read this book?
Yeah. I'm like, we'll talk about that later. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So going through, what do you remember what it was that made you decide to join my program? And everyone that's here knows it's a major investment. Like what was that like to make that decision?
It was a major investment. It was, it was just, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it all the way. And so, I talked about it with my husband and my family and had to tell them, this is how it's going to be. And I have to say this whole, I think this was all somehow a part of the plan, but when COVID hit, we stopped going anywhere. And that was part of my problem. Was my husband likes to eat out a lot. And so and go away on the weekends. And so we were constantly, I would get a good 2 weeks in, and then we would go and it would change everything. So being stuck here at home for all that, those 2-3 months, that was a huge game changer as well. So just accepting that, I kept telling him, this is killing me, going out to eat all the time. And when we didn't do it, he's like, I see that now. I get it. We're not doing that. So.
Oh, so it helped him get a reset as well too. Then that's cool.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you probably saved more money not going out during that time than you invested.
Right. And that's something you said too. You're going to save more by doing this in the long run, instead of buying all the, the things in the store that say keto, which are definitely not keto. And so now whenever I see something like that, I go, if it says keto, it's definitely not keto, not Carole approved.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Oh my gosh, it's interesting when I have clients that'll tell me like, I was in the grocery store and I heard your voice in my head, and I'm like, oh, that's not creepy at all.
It's so true though. The little things that
No,
you
it's good.
say, it comes back. Like the nuts, nuts were only meant to be eaten when we have to shell them, and that kind of thing, where you can only eat one or two before you're done with all that shelling, instead of just grabbing handfuls like we get at Costco.
Yeah. All those little aha mental moments.
Yes. Yeah. And just from going through all the videos that you gave us, those they just keep playing back, and it's been awesome. Very worthwhile.
Oh, good. So in addition to the videos, what else did you find like as part of the program, the support, and what you're looking forward to in the membership? Like, have you found like is instrumental and helpful for you?
I liked the coach calls where we would get on, and I wouldn't realize that I actually had a question, but somebody else would ask it, and I would be like, oh yeah, that's one thing I was thinking about too, but I never really, wrote it down and asked it. So questions that you have, but you don't realize you have, get answered as well in the coaching calls. And that was huge. That's probably why I didn't talk that much in the coaching calls. Why you say that? Because everybody else asked the questions first, and I'm like, oh, that's what I wanted to ask. So it was very helpful. And then your little, your tips, little videos on little tips and stuff, that always helps. And then the other ones where I can't think of her name, but she gave us
Jade, the mindset coaching ones.
Mindset coaching ones. Yes. So, and all of it really, really helps.
All right.
And then the menu, having the menus. And the 5-minute, if it takes more than 5 minutes to fix, then don't mess with it. Because that was something else I had to give myself permission to also not to have to plan out this big old meal and go make a whole recipe and everything. Because that's what I kept thinking I had to do for the whole keto thing. I had to follow that instead of plan it out. And the chronometer, that was a game changer for me. Being able to put in what I was eating and then seeing what it was, that's a game changer for me, being accountable to what I'm eating and stuff. Writing it down, like you always said, but all of them, everything says that. Write it down. But this was I like the way you set it up by carbs, protein, and fats, and to hit a certain goal. So that was huge.
Oh, good. All the things then. Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. Well, now I'm going to ask you that question I've asked everybody about. Where would you be had you not found me or done this program when you did?
I would probably be back where I was before, because it's a cycle thing that I had going on. Like I could do 2 months, and then it would just go back to our old traveling, eating out, and all that kind of stuff. And then I would go back to my old habits. But somehow it's changed my brain. My brain has changed. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, I'm still thinking the same way that, I learned to think, through the program. Just, this is a lifetime thing. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. And so I think, did that answer the question?
Yeah. No,
so then I'm not back where I thought I would have been. I'm where I always wanted to be, and ready to start it over again. So go back to start it and get the next 20 off.
Yeah. So let's talk about, all the results that you did get. So you made that decision, you started out, and it sounds like a little skeptical, but also like you fully immersed yourself now. You're like, I'm sold. I'm a keto person now. So it sounds like you've lost almost 30 pounds in the last 4 months. It's been about 4 months, right?
About 4 months, yes.
Yeah. What else has been? So mental shift, like what other things are you noticing are just improved for you?
At first, because things were going slowly, I would get frustrated and, be ready to give up like in the past. But that didn't happen. I just kind of stuck with it because you said it's better to not lose it fast. It's better to lose it gradually, because then it's going to stay off, as opposed to your body's just going to all of a sudden shift back to the other gear. And I think you mentioned that in the video the other day too. Your mind will just shift back to the old patterns. And so that hasn't happened. And so I'm very excited to keep moving forward. That's why I'm thinking now I want to get in these groups so that we can talk about it. And I've missed out on all of that since I haven't been doing it for the month and a half. So
yeah, well, and it sounds like you've got a good foundation though, that you've maintained your loss and ready to get to the next level. So so what was it like? So so we had an opportunity for some people to get in really, really early. And I know that, so your husband's not home, so we can talk about this a little bit.
Right.
But he was like, no, I don't want you to do that. And
well, it was kind of, we had something happen, and then I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then that kind of ironed itself out. And so now now of course I'm kicking myself. So, but I'm just glad that this is going to be, that we can still be a part of that through what you talked about on Sunday.
Yeah. So was there anything then that maybe has shifted in the last couple months for you where you're like, oh yeah, I know I do need this as long-term, like this is what I'm doing now. Like, did you have in the beginning kind of a thought of like, well, no, just see how this goes. I'll just lose the weight, or, and I'm like, I know you already kind of talked about that, about how there was a shift for you, that you went from like, oh no, I do need to maintain this as a lifestyle. So I'm re-asking, like, tell us a little bit more about that process of shifting from like temporary diet to like, no, I'm doing this for the rest of my life thing.
Okay. It's like you mentioned on Sunday, after 6 months, you can kind of start going back to those old patterns and stuff. And when there were a couple of times I would let the nuts back in, I realized, oh, I could easily do this. So I want to get back in touch and just be in that community where we can talk and be supported and just be accountable, to everything.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and those of you that are watching, if you didn't go to watch the Sunday training yet, it turns out that research shows, like, and this is a pattern most of us have fallen, and we didn't know it wasn't our fault, is that at about 6 months, our biology changes and tries to get us to start to gain the weight back, and it slowly increases our appetite. And it doesn't mean that it's hopeless. It doesn't mean that you should just give up on losing weight, which is what I was trained in school. It just means that at that point, especially, and what research shows is that not only at that point, but for the long term, to compensate for your biology trying to get you to gain the weight back, is that you need that support, accountability, and to check in to make sure that you're not overeating without even realizing that you are. Right. So that's what Kristen's talking about, as she had that aha about the training, because it's just the way our body's designed. It wants to get fat again. It does. And so we're coming together as a community. That's what research shows. And also what I've seen in my successful clients is that having that really long-term support, community connection, education and tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff is the answer, is the secret sauce to keeping that weight off. So, yeah. Well, Kristen, anything else that you want to share with our viewers before we wrap you up and bring up our next success story?
I'm just so thankful for finding Carole online and doing this and making that step. It was hard. It was a huge, financial commitment. It was, but in the long run, it has so paid off. And I think down the road, it's going to be just amazing how it kind of pays itself all off that way by doing this. And now, instead of overeating, I do have another problem where I'm shopping more because
Okay.
I feel better in clothes and I want,
Uh,
I just feel much better. I mean, I'm wearing my clothes in my closet that I've waited so long to wear, but it's like, oh, why did I keep this? I want to get something new. So I got to find a new support group for that.
oh, cute. Well, Stitch Fix, Trend Send. There's a lot of those fun things out there. So
Right. I do want to try Stitch Fix, but
yeah.
anyway, thank you, Carol.
You're welcome,
It's been
Kristen. Thank you so much
awesome.
for being here. Everyone give Kristen a
Absolutely.
big round of applause, and we're going to get the clappy hands out here for you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, Kristen. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for letting me do this.
You're welcome. Oh my gosh, that was great. All right. Yay, Kristen. Thank you so much. You guys, we still have a couple more stories left. So who's ready for the next person coming up? You guys ready? You ready? You ready? I'm excited. Okay. We're bringing up Debbie next. Yay, Debbie.
Hi, guys.
For being here. Oh, you get the clappy hands too. I got to click on this too. So, yay, everybody. Welcome, Debbie. Thank you so much for being here and taking time out of your busy life. Well, it's normally we chat and it's past your bedtime, but now we get to talk to you a little bit earlier. So thank you for being here. Debbie, can you just tell us who you are? Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm Debbie, and I'm 57 years old, and I'm a grandmother of 3. I live in Marysville, Washington. I've been doing keto for almost 13 months. Yeah.
All right, Mom. And what do you do for work?
Oh, I work at Boeing.
Ah, okay. The big Boeing up there in the Seattle area, everyone. So
Yeah.
excellent. All right. Thank you so much. So when before you found me, what was it that, the problem you're trying to solve? What were you searching for?
I was searching to be healthy, have some more energy, lose weight and keep it off. I just felt sluggish every day and taking naps, and it didn't matter what I ate, what I didn't eat. It was like I'd lose it for a little while, and then gradually, 6 months later, here comes 30 pounds. And I thought I was eating healthy. I was eating fruits and vegetables and a lot of processed food, which this program helped me identify what those were. Um, I had tried Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig, and at one point in my life, I was pushing 185, and I'm only 5'3". So I ran across keto online one day on my break, and I was reading about it, and I saw Keto's or Carol's. I don't remember what it was. I thought it was in Arizona, maybe it was Florida, but I watched one of your seminars about the food and the fat and the ketones and the salt. So I thought, well, I'm going to check this out. And I started doing research on my own and started applying it in my life. And it made me really sick. I got really bad. So, because I wasn't doing the salt. But that's how I found you. And it's been fantastic. I wouldn't have done anything different.
Oh, yeah. I remember you coming to me and you were having all the side effects of keto gone wrong. And I was like, oh, I know I can help her so much and feel amazing. And yeah, you were just having a really hard time. So do you remember back then, like what kind of thoughts and feelings and, fears that you had going through your mind?
Well, at first I thought, how can this be? I thought I was doing it right. I must be doing something wrong. And with the way I felt every day for like 2 weeks, I was like, I don't know how much longer I can hang on to this. Although I had seen the scale drop, but I hadn't experienced all the other health benefits that I was supposed to be feeling because they were out there and I was reading about them and I heard about them from you, but I just wasn't doing something wrong, and I had to figure out how to get it right.
Yeah, and I know that you were also at a point. I seem to remember that you were at a point of like, I just don't think keto's for me. Like, I just don't think it'll work.
Well, I know that when I was doing it on my own, I lost the weight.
Mm-hmm.
And so that really, I knew it was going to work, but I didn't think it would work for me because of how shitty I felt. Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's okay.
How
It's true. That's how you
horrible.
feel. So
I mean, I was lethargic for days. I couldn't do
Mhm.
anything at work. I was emailing you at work thinking, oh my gosh, how much longer is this going to keep going? So, yeah, I was worried. I thought I was doing
Well,
more damage.
well, and we had a really special challenge with you. You taught me something about how something to look for. So even if people are doing the baseline amount of salt that I recommend, we need to investigate how much water they're drinking every day. Because you were consuming a couple of gallons of water a day, and it was offsetting. Well, that was a piece of the puzzle where it was like,
Yeah, because I was releasing more salt than I was even taking in because of the amount of water. And I will let you know, I'm down to just maybe 2 water bottles a day now.
Okay. And everything's perfect for you now. You're feeling great. Yeah. Yeah. We had to, and then that piece of the puzzle we had to figure out. So we had to taper back the water at the same time, dramatically increasing the salt. So we get that balance right. Because that's one of those things that there might have been somebody else out there. And this is, a couple of the other ladies have said this about, my training and background are really important, because if somebody else would have just told you to stop drinking that much water, you would have had some really serious problems going on. So we had to balance those things and find the balance for you and undo.
I sure found out how much too much salt was really quick. Really quick.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
constipated for like 5-6 days at a time, and it was like, okay, that's too much salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it took me a little while to get the balance of what my system and what I needed.
Yeah.
That was very true.
That can be an ongoing challenge for people. Yeah. So what parts of Debbie did the fast track, and then she's been an alumni, which was the old membership I had before, and now we've got the new and improved. So in your journey with me in the last year, like, what have been your favorite parts of what I provide for you, and then what have you found to be the most helpful?
The formula really helped that you gave us during fast track. The knowledge and the information about the fruits was mind-blowing to me. The nuts, the sweeteners, I mean, all of it was just so, the knowledge was so valuable. And I think the hardest part was trying to incorporate it all daily or weekly. But my favorite part is all the different foods that we get to eat. But the main thing that's kept me focused is my why. The whys.
Okay.
Yes. And the coaching calls and all of that we do are vitally important, because they give you support. There's way more information in there that you can take and apply to your life and any questions that you had. And Kristen was like, you didn't really have to say much because everybody asked all the questions that you were going to ask that you forgot to write down. So, and it feels good. It feels good to like myself again and know that I have the energy to be the person I want to be.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's music to my ears. Feel good about myself. I love that.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm amazed at myself. I've maintained it. However, I went back and watched a couple of the last the videos that you did on Sunday and yesterday, and the mindset thing has taken effect on me the last few months.
Okay.
It's telling me that I'm hungrier than I normally am. So I've increased my protein portions. And I know that you say that that's not what I know. Since March, I've gotten pudgier.
Mm.
And I'm great. I've gained probably about 4 to 5 pounds, even though I'm at the weight I want. I know I've been lower,
Okay.
but you also said I may not have any more fat to lose.
So we got as things open back up, that's one of the things I recommend clients is get that DEXA scan so we can really see like what's the fat, the bone, the muscle that you've got on there, so we can really see and know like what's a
I
better
had that
indicator of.
scheduled. I
Yeah.
had a
Oh, you do?
scan 3 times in March and
Oh,
April, and they got
okay.
canceled. So I
Yeah.
just reached out to them last week, as a matter of fact, because I have a credit because I've already paid for it. And all of their scans currently are down south, way
Okay.
down south, Puyallup,
Okay.
south of
Oh,
Seattle.
okay.
And the guy, he emailed me right back and said, just keep an eye on our website, and we'll eventually, if things open up more, we'll have one more north. So I'm still
Okay.
waiting on that.
Oh,
I'm
good. Oh,
counting
good.
on that.
We'll get the information that we need there then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Debbie, where would you be had you not found me?
Sleeping on the couch, pretty much. Yeah. No energy, nodding off after work or in the car at a stoplight like I used to.
Oh, yeah.
You know, those first 5 months where I could just feel it working, and the focus and the clarity and staying on task and coming home and mowing yards and pulling weeds. And then, it was just, it's, it's great. I
You
always have something to do.
turned into the Energizer Bunny.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was lacking that.
Nice. So you get more energy than you know what to do with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. So so on your journey with me, what have been the results? So you've lost your weight. You've been mostly your goal weight for more than 6 months now.
Yeah.
So on so you watched did you watch the training from yesterday where I talked about the success path, where the different stages?
Yeah. I was on my phone trying to
Okay.
get that. And
Probably really tiny for you to see on your phone then.
I saw a tier 3 and 5 or something but I missed the rest of it after that. And every time I kept trying to go back, it started me all over again. But
Oh, okay. So you're here as an example of somebody that's you're kind of close. You're between stage 4 and stage 5. If those of you watched the training that I did yesterday, and so that's somebody that's at goal weight and been maintaining it for 6 months or longer, and so you're starting to get to this point. And so we'll know more like when we can get that DEXA scan for you to know like are you in an optimal healthy body fat percentage right now. We'll know more about that too. But so you've been able to lose your goal weight, get tons of energy, maintain it for more than 6 months now. What else is have you experienced? And tell us about your why too. Like what is the why and where are you at with that?
Well, I wanted to be healthy for my grandkids so that I didn't put out that image of grandma. And we go and do things. That's one of my whys. And health, I want to be around for a while. It's going to say something that just went right out. Forgot. But those my whys are, I want to be not so much strong, but I want to feel healthy, and I want to be able to do something if it crosses my mind or all that, and be able to get up, go to work, and still have energy and ride a bicycle or go to the park with my dog instead of wanting to always come home, sit on the couch, and then nod off. And one of the things I did early on for myself was convince myself that I was going to stick with this no matter what. It is an investment, and that can be a motivator, especially, I'm money motivated. When I did this, my brother thought I was nuts. Of course, he still thinks I am. But you know what? I think it's the best thing I've done, and for myself to feel better is to join your program and stay in contact and do the coaching calls. And it is a lifestyle. I adopted that mindset months ago. In fact, someone over the weekend says, "Oh, hey, you on that keto diet?" I said, "No, I'm not on the diet anymore. I'm on the lifestyle because I've already maintained my goal weight. So I'm not dieting anymore." And my eyes have been opened to the food industry. It's horrible. And I can identify the good foods now and the good cheese and the good meat versus the processed powders that they put in gravies and pastas and all that kind of stuff. It's automatic.
Yeah. Lots of changes for you then. Excellent.
Lots of growth.
Yeah. Education, empowerment, growth.
And I got all that through you and the coaching calls and the women.
Everyone's great questions. You hear that, ladies watching? It's you. That's great.
Yeah.
Excellent. And we've also, getting you some support. I know we're trying to get you the right lab tests at your doctor, and we're getting you support on that and empowering you to be able to, advocate and get the things that you want to have checked.
Yep.
So hopefully, fingers crossed, that goes well for you too then. So
yep. Tomorrow's another day. I'll keep at it.
Yeah. Debbie, anything else that you want to share with our viewers before we wrap you up? And
just how grateful I am that this is even out there. And it saddens me that people aren't more open-minded to something different that can empower them, change their lives the way it has for all of us women and men that find you. So I'm thankful that you put this effort out for all of us. Yeah.
Well, thank you for saying that, and I'm living my dream and my passion and my mission. So I'm here. I'm a vessel for all of you to give you all this healing. So I'm glad you found it. All right, everyone, let's give Debbie a round of applause. Thank you so much for being here. And we got a coaching call at the hour. Are you scheduled on that?
Sign up. I'm in bed at 6:30. I'm back to 10-hour days.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm glad I got to see you now, and we'll see you next time then. So.
All right. Good night, ladies.
Thank you, Debbie, for being here. Thank you so much. All right. Hey, everybody. Guess what? We saved the best for last. Who's ready for our final speaker, our final guest, our final interview? I'm so excited to bring her up here, you all. All right, let's get the clapping going now. As we bring up Karen, everybody. Yay! Thank you for being here, Karen.
My pleasure.
Karen is another one of our peer mentors, and so grateful that you're here. So, Karen, tell us a little bit about who you are.
I am 63. I've been married for 43 years. Have 3 grown married sons and 8 grandchildren. We're retired. The kids all ended up within 20 miles of each other, so we moved and we're able to see them all the time. Far enough that, not to get in anybody's face, but close enough that I watch I watch 3 of them every day.
I know that family is your number one priority in your life.
It is.
And you've got an amazing one. Yeah. So let's go back before you met me, before you found me. At that time, what were your problems that you were looking for some help with, what you were trying to solve?
They had just told me that I was diabetic, and that runs in my family. And I was seeing my pulmonologist for sleep apnea, and I mentioned that I was going to, because he mentioned my weight, and I mentioned to him that I was going to be starting the diabetic diet, the next day or 2 days, whatever. And he said, don't bother with it. He said, what you need is keto. Okay, fine. So my husband and I started it. I lost 20 pounds and then stopped losing. Well, now I know why, because I was eating a lot of acesulfame. Potassium was the thing that I had a lot of. I know I did. And I finally got to the point where it was like, I like eating what I'm eating, but I'm not getting anywhere. So I don't even remember what I was searching for, how I worded it, but you came up. And I thought, okay, this is what I need. And I sent in the application and I thought, I'll never hear from her again because, you know, I'm nothing special. Nobody's going to care. But I did. I got the call back. Actually, we had our interview on my husband's birthday, and that was Friday, and I started on Monday. At one point, I had lost 50 pounds. I have since put on 25 of that. I'm struggling with the weight part. I am off the diabetic medication. I'm off of my blood pressure medication. I'm taking 1/3 of my sleeping medication. I've got more energy. I'm just having issues hanging in there. The first time when I first started with you, 5 months, I was solid, no problem. And all of a sudden it was like, bang, and it hit me. And food was, you know, always in my face then again. So I've been battling it back and forth. I know I want the rest of this off. I want to be there for my grandkids. My kids will occasionally say something about, you know, Mom, we want you around. So I know I need to do this, and I need to do it for myself. I don't like myself. Listening to the other success stories, I'm ashamed. You know, I've been with you for a little over 2 years, and I'm ashamed of where I am. So I have a lot of shame and unhappiness in that. Yeah.
Now I want to pause right here because I know, like I've told everybody watching, everybody's got shame about where they are or where they've been, and I know you're really, 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 really hard on yourself. And we were exploring this yesterday, and Karen has a tendency to like dismiss all of the success that she has had. Huge success. And this is part of why and you shared this yesterday, and I'll let you answer too, but like it's part of why the community and the support has been so important and powerful for you to stick with this. And so you're no longer diabetic. You no longer have high blood pressure. You're almost medication free for your sleep. Those are all, that means you're really healthy, and that's a huge success. And I know the other thing that you shared yesterday, that this is the longest time, more than 2 years that you've stuck with this keto lifestyle. That's the longest time ever in your entire life that you have been.
Yeah, it is.
On something. It is. So you're way too hard on yourself.
I know what keto does, and I know when I was on it for those 5 months solid, I know how much better I felt, and I felt better about myself. And I don't have that anymore. I mean, I still feel good, but I don't have the confidence anymore. I'm, you know, putting in a back corner somewhere, and I'm good. I don't want to go anywhere new, especially. And that's frustrating because when I had lost, and I still had way more to go, but when I had lost the 50 pounds, I was proud of myself. It was wonderful. The one year at my granddaughter's dance competition, I wrapped my 2 grandsons in my coat with me, and we all fit and it zipped up. So that was fun. It was fun buying normal size clothes again. It's just not fun anymore. And and I don't like me.
Well, of the program and support that you have engaged in, what has been your favorite part? What has been most helpful for you staying on this journey?
The information that you provide, it's super valuable. I've learned so much. I just need to keep putting it in practice. The coaching calls, the accountability pod we're doing now with the coaches. I love that. I feel much more connected because we're a small group anyway. But the community, the mirror neurons, the peer pressure, the positive peer pressure, that's been good.
Yeah. And you're at that place, so you've commented about how like things were solid for 5 months, and this is what I talked about on the Sunday training. I brought it up in our call yesterday too, that there's a biological switch that at about 5 months, and so this isn't lack of willpower. This isn't there's something wrong with you. This is just a biological thing that starts to happen, and so I'm glad that you're here for the long run, and I'm glad that you're going to be part of this community and the new membership, because that's all part of what's important and necessary in order to keep fighting the fight against that biology drive that's gonna try to trick you into going back to those old habits. So we're all in this together with you, and we're all here support. And this is not the end of your journey. This is just the beginning.
It is.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for you and the groups, I would be enormous. I would, be on more medication, I'm sure. So I guess that's a good thing that I'm hanging in there. I want the weight to go now.
Yeah. So let's pause there and highlight that just a little bit. In this 2 years that you feel like you haven't accomplished much, you have accomplished a huge amount, because without what you have done, you would be even heavier than you were before. You would be on even more medications. You would be more at risk of not being here for your kids and grandkids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those things don't show in the mirror. The things that show in the mirror are still good. And that I guess I look too much at that for my confidence and my self-esteem.
Yeah. So this is a little bit of coaching in the middle of a live cast here. At the end of the live cast is the more you can focus your attention on all that has changed and all that's good, the more that your eating habits are going to align with that. Because right now you're focused on all what you don't have. And you, Karen, you're the queen of, I can have that, I choose not to.
Yeah.
And so
I forgot.
Yeah. So mentally, you're choosing to focus on what you don't have. I'm encouraging you to shift your focus and look at what you do have, all that you have accomplished, and then everything else will start to come in line. And I know for you, I know when you get in that I choose mode, you're unstoppable.
Yeah. I was.
Yeah. So there's a switch in your brain. So
I will do this. I'm not giving up. I'm a founding member. I'm hanging in there. I know without the support, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'll get it. I'll get there. I'll get there. It's slower than I want it. And I hate so much that I think that's part of the negativity too. But I'll get there. I will get there. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah. Well, it's the rest of your life journey. So And you've already accomplished in 2 years, you've accomplished a whole heck of a lot. And I encourage you to choose to look at what you've got, because then everything for you, you're unstoppable then. Yeah.
I'm choosing.
Mhm. Yeah. All right. So where are you at? What else would you like to share with our viewers and watchers and listeners as we wrap this up?
This is the best thing I ever did for myself. Yes, it was an investment, but where we were, I was on the phone with you and I asked my husband, I told him how much it was, and he said, go for it. And so we've been on this journey together, which helps. But it's very valuable. I'm a super label reader, which I never was before. And I know what foods, it's the fruits and the vegetables and that kind of stuff that I tended to eat a lot of back then. And I know why that was not a good thing. I still have that in my head. But yeah, this is the best thing I could have done for myself.
Karen, I'm so grateful that you're here to share. And I know it's hard. And you're inspiring for other people. And your story is important to share. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for taking the time. And guess what? You get the clappy hands now. So everyone give Karen a round of applause. All right. And thank you, Karen. We'll see you soon. And keep that applause going for everyone that we've had. Oh my gosh, you guys, that was 3 hours of success stories. We had, let's see, I got to get all the list of the names. Give it up for Carmen, Cassie, Penny, Marianne, Jenna, Kristen, Debbie, and one more time for Karen, you guys. Thank you all for watching. This has been amazing. Oh my gosh, my head is swimming. I'm so glad that I get to be here to share my passion and mission with all of you. If you're watching this and you haven't decided to join or you're ready to join the membership now, the Keto Lifestyle Crew, brand new membership that we've got, your last chance to join is going to be on Thursday, July 9th at midnight. And so go now and grab your spot, ketocarole.com/KLC, which is for Keto Lifestyle Crew. I've got to run because I've got a coaching call with our clients here that I'm 2 minutes late for. So I got to run, y'all. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye now.